Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunday Wire. I'm Patrick Henningsen, your host. We are streaming out live on the Alternate Current Radio Network, also at 21stcenturywire.com. Thank you for joining us for this weekly omnibus news and analysis radio and TV program, again, here at 21stcenturywire.com. Folks, we have a very interesting show today. We've got a couple of big topics we're going to try to tackle here. Hopefully we'll have some of our teammates on for Overdrive. It's going to be a colorful conversation. And I'll tell you about what we've done earlier today, which is quite extraordinary. And again, we'll be able to show you hopefully a clip from an interview that we did with a lot of journalists will say, oh, I've got great sources, our source, this, that, we've got super sources and whatever. We don't boast about our sources, okay? But we, let's just say we've developed very, very good, solid knowledge base around certain areas in geopolitics over the years. So personally, I'm talking over 10 years in the case of Albania. And we spoke to one of these people earlier today who has in the past delivered groundbreaking stories for us, which we have shared with other media outlets, which stand as great journalism and great material. I will call him a whistleblower, an anti-corruption activist from Albania. He's also an adept historian, very well qualified academic as well, teaching at the university level. We spoke to him earlier today, and we'll share a clip of that with you when we talk about, well, what the story, the theme of today's show, the Epstein Class, heads to Albania, Jared Kushner and Ivanka's private island. That's only the surface of this story. We're going a lot deeper. We'll talk a little bit about that today, but we're not going to air the full interview until tomorrow. And yeah, because we're going to be sort of distributing that on our live platforms later, but it's explosive. It's explosive. You have no idea how deep this goes. This story about Albania, the Kushners, as you might imagine, it goes very deep. I'll just give you a little peek. This is how deep it goes. What's happening in Albania, folks? It's that. It's that. It's that, and we have the receipts. So that's what we'll be delivering to you, our audience. That's how big that story is. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So I also want to point people to the Sunday Wire. Again, we'll go over to the website, 21stcenturywire.com. Sunday screening this week here. Empire Unmasked, Redux, 9/11, Israeli and Saudi roles, 2025. That's a film by Ryan Dawson, independent documentary filmmaker. It's a long one. It's a long one. It's 4.5 hours. Very long intro sequence, but once you get into the actual material, it's very, very, very good, very well researched, very well produced. This is extremely good independent documentary film, The Empire Unmasked by Ryan Dawson. That's up at 21stcenturywire.com. You can check us out. That's this week's Sunday screening, folks, right there. And again, over to the task at hand, the theme of today's show, the Epstein Class, heading to Albania. What on earth is going on there? We'll explain more of that to you. And you've probably seen the article up at 21stcenturywire.com by Freddie Ponton, which we'll be showing you. But this is the interview that we did with Olsi Yezhezi earlier today, in which all is revealed. We'll be sharing that. Again, we'll show a clip of that later in this program. But there's a lot in that. There's a lot in this one, folks. There's a lot in this story. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So we'll share all that with you and more. And we'll get into that story just in a bit. And we'll also, that's probably going to be a fair amount of our discussion in Overdrive, although there's other stories that we're going to be covering as well, as we normally do. So, well, the other big story that we're going to have to sort of get our teeth into as well is the Lebanon story, and it's just extraordinary what's happening in Lebanon. But even more extraordinary and shocking is the Lebanese government, how they have betrayed their people. And what you have is a puppet government in Beirut. Okay, Joseph Ayoun is an American puppet, and a Saudi puppet, and an Israeli puppet, as is Nawaf Salam, the esteemed prime minister, the famous disappearing prime minister of Lebanon, who is also a Western and an Israeli puppet. Okay, who are both of them have sold out their country on a level that nobody can comprehend. As Israel carpet bombs South Lebanon, steals territory, planning to steal resources as well, killing thousands, massacring thousands of Lebanese, massacring, destroying historic villages. The U.S. puppet government in Beirut is saying, "Oh, we don't have any problem with Israel. They're our friends. We want to have good relations with Israel. But go ahead, Israel, and massacre more Lebanese. Destroy more historic cities. Destroy the city of Tyre, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Go ahead. Do what you want. Our problem is not with you, Israel. You can destroy and kill as much as you want. You can bomb Beirut. We don't mind. We don't mind. But our problem is with Hezbollah. Why would you say such a thing? Well, America can give you many millions of reasons to say such things. No, it's not just the pressure, it's the incentives. Millions and millions of little paper incentives. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is it's just such deep systemic corruption. So we'll bring that up on screen here. So they're calling it a ceasefire deal. It wasn't a ceasefire deal. Israel can't have ceasefires, folks. This is just political theater. Hezbollah rejects latest ceasefire agreement as Israel airstrikes kill another 4 people in Lebanon. Them, it's just by minute slaughter. And Israel's also resumed carpet bombing of Gaza and murdering more Palestinians. Okay, so they continue to kill with impunity, but let's blame Hezbollah. Let's blame Hezbollah for defending their own border. Here is Joseph Ayoun, the president of Lebanon, with CNN's Christiane Amanpour, one of the biggest propagandists in the history of Western mainstream media. She just sits back, nods her head, and takes it all in, doesn't push back at all, which shows you what Christiane Amanpour is ultimately. She pretends to be concerned about Palestinians and pretends to push back on the Israelis, but she's doing everything in her power to undermine the only people that are trying to protect and save lives in this region. Iran made Lebanon part of their negotiations package. Why? They're using leverage to save Lebanese lives. People who live in South Lebanon, is it their fault that the Lebanese army can't defend its own borders? No. Hezbollah wouldn't exist if not for Israel's occupation of South Lebanon during the 80s and 90s. Don't forget that. There would be no Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a South Lebanese indigenous, organic self-defense force, a political movement with a militia, doing what the Lebanese armed forces not only can't do, are not allowed to do. Why? The United States controls what the Lebanese army can do and can't do. They control what equipment they can have and can't have. They control whether they can have air defense or an air force. And right now, Lebanon is forbidden to have an air force and air defenses because Israel reserves the right to fly jets and drones over Israel for the last 15 years to bomb Syria. And now the Lebanese government, the Americans, have no problem with Israeli drones loitering over Beirut, killing people, bombing buildings, civilian apartment blocks with total impunity. This government, sadly, this U.S. puppet government in Beirut has no problem with this. They think it's fine. They think, oh, let Israel do what it needs to do to defend itself, including massacring thousands of Lebanese, razing whole villages, dozens of villages to the ground, occupying 1/5 of the territory of Lebanon. And openly, Israeli officials talking about how they're going to take the Litani River and create a buffer zone so that Israel can defend itself. Any normal president or prime minister would be pushing back against this. Any normal country would have solidarity to stop what is an attempted genocide in South Lebanon, the ethnic cleansing of whole cities. There's over 1.4 million people internally displaced in Lebanon because of Israel. Not because of Hezbollah. No, Hezbollah is defending the border. And they're also trying to reclaim land which Israel has stolen. It's never given it back. Israel withdrew from South Lebanon. They lost in their last battle with Hezbollah in 2006, but they didn't give back all the land. And meanwhile, in the meantime, after the Al-Qaeda coup in Damascus in December 2024, Israel has stolen the Golan Heights and Mount Hermon, and they're not finished. If you think they're going to stop there, and do you think if you think they're going to stop with what's on the land in Lebanon, Israel absolutely seeks to take the offshore gas deposits of Lebanon, especially those off South Lebanon. People who don't get this by now, you're living in a fantasy land. You think Israel's going to pack up and go home? No, they're going to do scorched earth annihilation. They're going to depopulate the areas they want to depopulate, and they're going to end up annexing territory under the guise of security, defending themselves. It's what they wanted all along. It's called the Greater Israel Project. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to work this out, but sadly, some people just don't get it, which is pretty incredible. So here is Christiane Amanpour, one of the great propagandists in history. I give her minimal points for pushing back against the genocide in Gaza, but aside from that, her journalism is pretty horrible. Anyway, here she is interviewing Joseph Ayoun. This is a real special segment. It's unbelievable. It's almost unbelievable, but here it is.
Standing here on the balcony of the presidential palace in Beirut. Over my shoulder is the suburb of Dahia. It has been a target of the Israelis for the last several weeks, and it is destroyed in parts, but also up to 800,000 people, maybe more, have evacuated. It is a ghost town. It's symbolic of what's happening in many parts of this country during this fighting and during this war.
See, what Christiane Amanpour won't mention there is that this is a major piece of southern Beirut. Beirut is a major Middle Eastern megatropolis, and a large portion of the city has been emptied out because of Israel's taking out city blocks, because they claim there's terrorists there, and nobody has a problem with that in the U.S., and the president and the prime minister have no problem at all with that. They're blaming it on Hezbollah. Okay. She's not saying that Israel is trying to depopulate Shiite Muslim areas, and that's why sectarian-minded U.S. puppets, be they Maronite Christian or Sunni Muslim, pro-U.S., they're totally fine with the ethnic cleansing because that suits their very small sectarian mentality. Meanwhile, their country is going to be broken up. And if they can't see it, I'm talking, Israel makes their plans decades ahead. These people have been forced to think in such short-term mode because constantly being in crisis, with the U.S. having their thumb on the economy, the political system, Israel attacking them in various different ways. And this is the end result, a complete capitulation. It's breathtaking. And what you're going to see is shocking here.
We can hear Israeli drones overhead. I've just had an global exclusive interview with the president, Joseph Aoun, and he has said very, very clearly that Israel needs to abide by a ceasefire. He's also said very clearly that Iran needs to stop empowering Hezbollah. He rejected a recent statement by the IRGC in Iran that says it doesn't accept the ceasefire. He told them in no uncertain terms that this is not their country. This is what he told me about it.
IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, that they don't agree with this, they don't approve this agreement, what happened. It's not your country, it's our country. It's our obligation. It's not your job to interfere into our country. I reject this statement totally because our people being killed, our houses being destroyed. They are using Lebanon as a bargaining chip in their negotiation with the United States. It's unacceptable.
See, this is what you call Stockholm syndrome. Okay, is a perfect classic example of Stockholm syndrome. Iran isn't killing Lebanese. Iran isn't wiping historic villages, Christian holy sites, the ancient city of Tyre. Iran's not wiping that off the map. Iran hasn't destroyed 50,000 Lebanese homes and dwellings. No, Iran hasn't done any of that. In fact, the deterrence that they have supplied by attacking or retaliating against Israel has helped to that level of deterrence has helped to engineer some kind of de-escalation at times against Lebanon. But Israel's responsible for all of that. But you have the president here who is blaming Iran. So Israel's not at fault, not a problem. It shows you how corrupt these people have become. They'll sit there on camera in front of the whole world, Stockholm syndrome, learning to love your oppressor. But it's not just that. The U.S., these are bought and paid for absolute puppets. And quite frankly, they don't have any choice because you don't have a choice with the American mafia, folks, and the Israeli mafia and the Saudi mafia, all three of them micromanaging as they have done. He's talking about interference in Lebanon. Wasn't it the Saudis who kidnapped Saad Hariri in 2018, the Lebanese prime minister, and locked him in a hotel and did what to him? I don't know if they beat him or tortured him. Nobody knows for sure. And then eventually handed him back to Lebanon. And these people have no problem with that because they're getting their money, their support from the Saudis. The level of corruption here it's beyond the pale. And this is the end result. Stockholm syndrome. It's unbelievable, this guy.
And here also, Hezbollah must understand that. Hezbollah must understand that no other way but to sit and talk, no other way to solve this problem and to save what's left except through negotiation and diplomacy.
President.
Yeah, tell that to the Israelis. Negotiation and diplomacy. Does that work for Israel? Israel's committing genocide in Gaza. They're doing ethnic cleansing and genocide in the West Bank, and they're doing ethnic cleansing and genocide in South Lebanon. 3 different genocides. And you're blaming Hezbollah. You see, the problem with Lebanon is if they had solidarity amongst Arabs, amongst Lebanese, they could hold Israel back 100%. They could mobilize politically, militarily, and with their allies. But America's priority politically in Washington, and the reason the Israeli lobby insists that America promotes sectarian division in Lebanon. And how they do that is USAID money for people that Joseph Aoun represents, business people Joseph Aoun represents, money for Sunnis who are pro-American, jobs, money, contracts, nothing for Shiites, anybody that they think is linked to Amal or Hezbollah, they get nothing. And by paying certain people and not paying others, that's how you divide communities. The Americans are the experts at this. They've perfected this method all over the world and in the United States with Native American communities over the centuries. So Lebanon is just another plantation for America. And for the Gulf Arabs, it's just another toy that they can use their cash to manipulate internally. And for Israel, Lebanon is future territory and resources, agricultural land, gas, fresh water. That's what Israel will take. They're not going to ask for permission. They will take it. If it's not using the Palestinian PLO as an excuse to occupy, they'll use Hezbollah. And if Hezbollah goes away and something else appears to oppose Israeli occupation, Israel will label it a terrorist and use it as an excuse to take the land, effectively. Kill everybody on it and take it. Because isn't this the pattern, folks? Is this not the pattern that we have witnessed? You know, it's amazing.
Aoun has been a military commander for 8 years. He's been head of the army here, and he's had a 4-decade-long army experience. He's been in combat. He still carries the shrapnel in his body of having been wounded. He has sworn, as president, to uphold and protect the territorial integrity of this country. And for a man who's been to war, he really means it.
What war is she talking about? Is she mentioning the context of his combat experience in a civil war, which was a mess? Is that the combat we're talking about here? He certainly, was he fighting the Israeli invaders? Or was he fighting other Lebanese? It's really hard to tell, or who knows, fighting other Arabs like the Syrians. What a mess. But this is, again, Christiane Amanpour is a war propagandist. She is here to execute the talking points the U.S. government, and the British, and the Saudis, or whoever's paying, whatever they require, and ultimately, Christiane Amanpour is carrying water for the Israelis. Christiane Amanpour, who pretends to care about the Palestinians, is here carrying water for the Israelis. Just as anybody who is calling Assad must go, screaming like hyenas for regime change in Syria, all of you were carrying water for the Israelis. Because that was an Israeli project, ultimately. And it was a U.S. project because that's what the Israeli lobby dictated in Washington ever since, and is perfectly written out in the Clean Break document, 1996 or 1998. You were carrying, Assad must go. The regime must go in Damascus. You were carrying water for Israel. And you'll never be able to wash that one off. Just like Christiane Amanpour, who pretends to care about the people in Gaza, is a functionary of Israel here.
He's a very charismatic communicator. He knows that his power is limited. Not only is his mostly a ceremonial position, he can authorize and engage in negotiations, but he doesn't have as much executive authority because of the different ways the sectarian factions are aligned in this government. It's not a presidential system, in other words. But
the reason they have a sectarian system in Lebanon is because that's what the United States has demanded. Imagine a country, the Lebanese army, bless them, they're nothing more than a gendarmerie force because America won't allow them even to have a fighter jet, much less anti-aircraft missiles or radar, because Israel uses Lebanese airspace as part of its own airspace. Israel controls Lebanese airspace. You have zero sovereignty if you accept that, but they do because the U.S. pays everybody off to accept that. And if the Lebanese army could defend its southern border and it did have an air force and it could control its airspace, there would be no need for Hezbollah. Do you understand how this works? Is this how complicated is this? Too complicated for Christian Amanpour, carrying water for the Israelis right here.
He said he's going to use every power that he has to make this war end. And he says that it really takes two to tango. Israel has to stop, has to move back, and Hezbollah has to stop. Both sides need to live in peace.
Israel has to stop? Is this the same Christian Amanpour that was commiserating over the children of Gaza? Israel is guilty of the most heinous crimes against humanity against the Lebanese. And the best this woman can do is Israel has to stop. She's bouncing up and down like this performative, fake TV news acting that everybody is so sick of. This is just unbelievable. These people have no shame. She has so much blood on her hands, this woman, from Yugoslavia all the way to the present. I mean, maybe she recovered a little bit of her credibility with some of her Gaza coverage or being critical of Netanyahu, but how hard is that? Everybody's critical of Netanyahu. That's not a very high bar of like principles and morals. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, I mean, but here she is back into war mode, carrying water for Netanyahu. Funny how that works.
The war needs to end, and then he says there might be another further negotiation towards eventually normalization of relations. But the first step is an end to this war. And
normalization of relations with a country that's stealing your land, massacring your people, and annihilating whole towns and villages. Their soldiers are going in, burning olive trees, desecrating Christian statues, churches, blowing up sacred Christian sites in Lebanon, threatening to destroy the ancient city of Tyre. And Christian Amanpour is excited about normalization. Normalization. How can you have normalization after that? And this woman will say nothing to the U.S. government because the U.S. has the power to stop all this, but they're not. Instead, the U.S., which Christian Amanpour won't say, they're openly touting and pushing for a violent armed civil war in Lebanon. She won't say that. She didn't bring that up in this Tom Barak, Trump's special envoy. Canvassing for an armed civil war in Lebanon. They want the Lebanese to tear each other to pieces so that Israel can waltz right through South Lebanon and Netanyahu can come and have tea in Hamra just like Ariel Sharon. And then keep what they want for, buffer zones. She can't call herself a journalist, folks. Once in a while they'll do something and you think, oh my, okay, they're not that bad. But this is the same low grade propagandizing that this woman has made her career out of. It's absolutely shameless.
He says he's working on it as hard as he possibly can under very, very difficult circumstances and realities. The key to note is that the majority of the Lebanese people, including the Shiites, who, of course, Hezbollah claims to represent, they want an end to this. They want the sovereign state to be in charge, not a non-state actor. Christiane Amanpour, CNN in Beirut.
Well, you can see more of Christiane's exclusive interview with the Lebanese President Joseph Aoun.
She's probably expecting a journalism award for that one. But anyway, you got to read between the lines, folks, and otherwise you'll miss most of the details on this. Anyway, unbelievable. It's funny when you take the context out of things. You know, if there's no context applied, all of that might sound reasonable, what she's saying there. When you apply the actual context and the actual parameters of what's actually happening, she sounds like a shameless war propagandist, carrying water for Israel. That's ultimately who employs her. CNN, I don't know, are they under direct control of Larry Ellison yet? I'm not sure. Probably. Unbelievable. It's a free-for-all, folks. Absolute criminality on every single conceivable front. Anyway, we'll go to break in a bit. So, but you know, before we get there, this was the story. Obviously, we'll be talking about this in Overdrive, and this is how it kind of broke. And there was this cringeworthy video of Ivanka Trump saying how she discovered the island in Albania. I mean, it was really cringeworthy. I don't know if I have that clip or not, but and so that's what stirred a lot of outrage. I think it's just the kind of let them eat cake kind of aspect of it. It's just so unbelievable. But she was there with her sort of, you know, self-preening smile or whatever. It's hard to watch, but that's what kind of kicked off the coverage and everything. And people, it's just the arrogance of these people that think they can just, we were sailing down the Adriatic and we saw this lovely island and we decided to go have a look, and then we bought it. We're going to turn it into our own little Epstein Island, you know, a little private island, just like Jeff had a lovely little private island, you know, just like Richard Branson has his lovely little private islands. And why not? The world is your oyster. When you fleeced the American public and you fleeced the Arabs for billions, using your position as the president's son-in-law to crowbar money out of the Arabs in exchange for protection, which you never provided. Okay, how much protection did the Americans provide the Gulf Arab states against Iranian missiles? How did that go? All those bases. Anyway, so the Kushners have been able to parlay all this stuff into cash, and then parlay that into real political leverage and power. Okay, so they're on the Nat Rothschild's super yacht, free holiday there. So that's how the story is constructed. And well, we got to the bottom to hear the real story. We interviewed the real guy, which we'll share with you. But here is the cringeworthy. If you haven't seen it yet, this is the cringeworthy Ivanka Trump video, which is just too much to bear. But for those of you who haven't seen it, and I don't know, it just is hard to watch her. Just to say she looks fake and her mannerisms are fake and creepy. This like gives another level. This is like Stepford Wives, like cubed on steroids. And I don't even want to get into the husband, but here she is talking about this amazing discovery. It's like Christopher Columbus landed in the Adriatic, and my goodness, look at this beautiful island. I'll have that.
On an incredible project with my husband in the Mediterranean. It's massive in scale.
I think that's an understatement. Can you explain?
Yes, it is.
There's no power on this island. You're building everything from scratch.
This is a hard-hitting interview, folks. By the way, who is this clown? Who is this guy? This hard-hitting podcast. How the other half live.
correct?
Well, it's an unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat.
Now, I'm not a geography, I don't have a degree in geography, but I can kind of tell you that that is not in the middle of the Mediterranean. That's just me, though. Maybe maybe her geography is a bit rusty, but anyway, it's not in the middle of the Mediterranean, Ivanka. Just saying. So it's kind of like it's there. Okay, that's where it is. That's not in the middle of the Mediterranean. That island is just a couple miles off the coast of Albania. Okay, no, it's not in the middle of the Mediterranean. So anyway, I don't want to nitpick. Poor Ivanka, she's having a tough time as it is.
For a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it. We swam to the islands. We went on a hike, barefoot all the way up to the top, and we were just captivated. And it stayed with us ever since. And over the course of many years, we developed the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform it, but with a lot of restraint and care, because the land is so beautiful that really the architecture has to be fully integrated into it, almost rise from it.
What architecture is she talking about? Oh, the underground bunkers. So it's an old military fort, basically, with underground bunkers. Perfect for billionaires who want to live in bunkers because they've all got to have their bunkers. It's got a submarine port. That'll be good for the Israelis, for the IDF. And big underground caverns, underground hospital. You could do rituals down there, whatever you get up to, whatever these people are up to, who knows. There's lots of potential there. She's integrate the architecture. It sounds great. That's nauseating.
It's not even a business for me, despite the scale of it. We not only the island, but we have 5 miles of beachfront directly across from the island, this beautiful peninsula with a lagoon on one side, the ocean on the other, beautiful white sand beaches. For me...
She's talking about Zvernik on land, right across from Sazin Island. That's what she's talking about. That's protected wetlands. It's a protected nature reserve. But she thinks, well, we're just going to have all that, 5 miles of beaches. We'll have that. We'll develop that. And we'll do it with such care. And we'll integrate the architecture. Because we care about those Albanians. In fact, and after all, we discovered Albania, is what she's saying. We discovered it. We were on Nat Rothschild's yacht, and we saw this lovely little country there in the middle of the Mediterranean. We discovered it. And we swam to the shore and hiked up barefoot. And who hikes up forest barefoot? Have you ever done that before? And your feet just get shredded with shale and rocks and God knows what else, thorns. It can be painful. Well, to normal humans, but these are not normal humans, you see. They're special. These are special people.
It feels more like a challenge than anything else. The culmination of all of my experience in real estate, all of my travel, a lot of reflection on how I want to live, how I think people increasingly are wanting to live.
How she wants to live, how people increasingly want to live. So do people, regular people, ride around on super yachts and see an island that's not been developed and say, let's swim to the shore and have a look. Maybe we can take it. We've got a spare $1.5 billion in our fund that we loaded up with Gulf Arab money. That's how regular people want to live, right? Okay. It's really special.
And trying to really build something that's a tangible manifestation of that. That requires a lot of vision.
A tangible manifestation. So she manifested it. She's very talented, this Ivanka. She just manifested this opportunity. It's a beautiful thing. You should everyone should live like Ivanka. Everyone should. So stop what you're doing, and you're on the wrong path in life. You need to live like Ivanka, and you can just manifest these opportunities, especially
the collaboration of some of the greatest masters that exist. So I was just there walking the land, really just trying to
walking the land. I like that term, walking. Have you ever walked the land? Like walking the land, like a plantation owner. Just we're going to go out and walk the land today and see what the sharecroppers and indentured servants, slaves and tenant farmers are doing. Let's go walk the land, shall we, Jared? These people are too much.
Sort of be with it and experience it alongside some of the greatest living architects of our time, like true masters of their craft, people with integrity so absolute, like there will be no compromise. And that's something we want to create there. So we're very excited.
That's so sweet. Anyway, they're doing good. They've discovered Albania. So this is something for the history books. We didn't know it was there. I mean, there was a country there. Some people think there was a country there, but I guess when they rocked up, there's nobody there. It's a land without a people, right? Another land without a people. Yeah, we'll get into that. That's a familiar theme, isn't it? We've just discovered the land. There's nothing there. We're going to develop it. We're going to develop that land. So yeah. Anyway, it's so exciting. What a great opportunity for the Kushners and for Trump and Sons. That's just wonderful. So if you go to 21st Century Wire, Freddie Ponton has done an outstanding report. It's been getting a lot of recognition, and the reason is because the work is excellent. Let's bring some of that up on screen if we can. But so Freddie basically broke down the business scam behind all this, and we'll show you what that means in terms of the players, the shell companies in the Netherlands, all of that. It's all outlined. It's up there on the website right now, and we did a little bit of that with our guest as well. OC again, we'll be showing you a short clip of that interview, but nonetheless, what we have in terms of the exposure on this, and again, just to review, that's how the story broke in people's minds, but this is what it's really about: exporting the Abraham Accords, the hidden network converging on Albania's shores. And it just took a little bit of research, but that's a little bit of research a lot of media outlets aren't willing to do. But we are. We did it. Here's what we came up with, folks. There it is. That's how the money's flowing. Did you see this anywhere else? Nope. You saw it at 21st Century Wire first. So this is an excellent flow chart. Thank you, Freddie. And what you have here is you start at the bottom, and that's Kushner. There it is. Strategic Investment Committee, Edi Rama. That's the corrupt prime minister of Albania. So this is a government-sanctioned scam, basically. We go up the chain. There's Kushner there. Atlantic Incubation Partners. Think of that as a type of subsidiary of Affinity Investments. That's Kushner's slush fund that he's padded thanks to his father-in-law, using the largesse of presidency to enrich oneself. That used to be called a conflict of interest. But according to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, these aren't conflicts of interests. These are relationships that have been developed over years and opportunities, not conflicts of interest. There's no such thing as a conflict of interests. So these people are becoming billionaires on the back of the U.S. government and using the U.S. government and its leverage, its agencies, and its tight relationship with Israel to build your own oligarchy, basically. That's what they've done. And if you go further up the chain there, look at that. 5 unnamed Albanian shareholders, 24% combined, below the 25% threshold where you need to declare their names. So they remain hidden. These are probably straw men, and behind them are the real actors. And so if you look at the 3 boxes below, Universal Properties, Blue Industries, that's the key one there, Blue Industry Investments. That is a holding company based in the Netherlands. What you see here, folks, this is an organized criminal syndicate operation with the corrupt Albanian government at the bottom, enabling it all, providing the foundation, and then all the criminals piling it on top. That's what this is. Okay? This is an organized criminal syndicate. Done so through various and sundry shell companies and offshore destinations, and probably a little bit of corruption and bribery in there just to grease the wheels of the bureaucracy, and that's what it is. So we've revealed that. We've exposed that. You can go there. We've also explained the importance of the private-public partnership or the public-private partnership, whichever the case may be, which they now call strategic investor. Strategic investor. Public-private partnerships. This is how you bypass everything. And by the time you're practically done the job, the public then find out about it and they have no idea what they're dealing with. Too late. Too late. Anyway, that's how that works. So it's all up there at 21 Wire, folks. So again, great work by very talented investigative journalist Freddie Ponton at 21stcenturywire.com. Now, we want to bring up, if we can, the Olsey interview. Okay, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Now we'll just show you a clip of it, and it's hard to know exactly where, which part to share with you on this because there's just so much. He did the whole historical background of this, got us up to the present moment, and we tried to explain the importance of this. But what you need to know is that this is basically an Israeli takeover of Albania. And what Olsey shared with us is that Israeli tech firms, they've taken over the Albanian military. They're running all the procurement. The AI is in there. They're probably training the secret police that are dealing with protesters. They're tracking, doing surveillance, all of this stuff. And they've got basically a gangster in charge of Albania. That's Eddie Rama with his best friend and partner now, Benjamin Netanyahu. And he has given away huge tracts of land for Israeli settlers. Basically, they have their first kibbutz, farmland, 100,000 square hectares of farmland for effectively settlers. This will all be managed through Israeli companies, and some of this stuff, I don't even know if they're paying for it. Is he just giving it away? It's hard to tell. But that's what's going on. And so when you look at Sazan Island and the importance of that at the Straits of Otranto into the Adriatic, that's the gateway. This is the boot of Italy, Albania, very small strait, very strategic waterway for Europe. Israel is moving in a big way, folks. We talked about this in detail. We'll publish this later on, so keep an eye on our channel. We'll listen to a little bit of it here. And again, this is Olsey Ejezi. He is an academic from Albania, There's so much ground to cover here. So much ground. We'll just give you a little bit of this, and then we're going to come back, and then we'll break for Overdrive.
Yeah.
So this is an expansion of. So the Greater Israel Project actually expands to Albania.
Exactly.
Effectively, it's more. This is more penetration than any other country. There's no other place in the Middle East or anywhere that has this level of Israeli penetration into the state, to the land, parlaying agricultural natural resources. What about water rights? All of these things go with it, right?
Yes, everything. And this is what is scaring the Albanians. And I want to explain for your viewers, because there is a lot of disinformation being propagated in the West, where they are trying to depict the protest as environmental protest, where Albanians, they want to defend the flamingo. It is bullshit. Yes, you have some environmental groups which are paid by Germany and probably Sweden, and they take money from these countries to protect the environment, because there is a big NGO mafia in Eastern Europe, where many of these NGOs, they survive with the money of Western European taxpayers. But the protest is not about the flamingos. The protest started about this Zionist company taking this peninsula from the locals. And after this incident, which happened last Saturday, then on Sunday, we had a big explosion in Albania. You had probably 100,000 Albanians who went to the streets. They surrounded the prime minister's office, and they were chanting, "Down with Israel, death to the Jews." And this is what made our prime minister mad, because probably you have seen even the video when our prime minister went to the Israeli Knesset, and he was, I think you have seen that video, right? Maybe, probably we can even play that for your viewers, where Edi Rama in all these years, and in particular since 2018, had depicted himself as the hero of Zionism. And during the genocide in Gaza, from 2023 to 2025, Albania was probably the only country in the world that did not condemn the genocide, but supported Israel at the United Nations and every other institution fanatically, even though Albanians were going every day to the streets and they were screaming against Israel. So we have now, in the past week, and especially last Sunday and Saturday, that Albanians went to the street, and they were not screaming only about the Zvornets Peninsula, but they were screaming about what Israel is doing to our country, because Israel has taken our security, our banking system. An Israeli scammer who was running call centers, and he was even jailed in Austria for stealing money of the Europeans. He was a scammer. He's opening a bank, a digital bank called Jet Bank, and nobody knows where he got the money. The money is money stolen from the Europeans, and he's going to open a digital bank in Albania. So Albanians are seeing that, especially after COVID, that their prime minister is selling everything to Israelis. I mean, we have many Albanian specialists in IT, cybersecurity, but if you're an Albanian, you cannot get a job in your country, because the jobs when it comes to cyber security and IT are given to Israeli companies. In May, we had probably 100 Israeli startups who were invited to Tirana by Prime Minister Rama. Everything was paid by him. And Edi Rama will give to these companies, Israeli startups, lands in Tirana for free to establish their own companies. And we know many of these companies are companies who run artificial intelligence, military espionage, etc. And we're having these companies coming to Albania. And Albania, in a way, is becoming a second Dubai, a mass center of surveillance, spying, and monitoring not only Iran, not only the Arabs, but you guys, the Europeans. And the protests which we're having in the last days, in not only in Tirana, but throughout Albania, where we had protests today in London, no, I think yesterday, in London, in Berlin, in Rome, Albanians are screaming. They are saying, Edi Rama, get out. There is a massive hysteria against Rama because they perceive him as a traitor. And if you see, I mean, the people who are protesting are not Islamists, are not Iranian, because Rama claims it is Iran. There are Iranian agents where they're doing a hybrid war against us. Because in the first days of the protest, he was blaming the Greeks. He was saying, oh, Greece doesn't want Albania to develop resource. And then, because he have many paid mercenaries who go to the media, and some others were saying, yeah, there are Russian spies and they are inciting the protest. And after Albanians were making fun of this, then 2 days ago when he was in Tivat in Montenegro, he said, when he was asked by the journalist how he's going to handle the protest, because Albanians are openly calling for him to get lost, to leave. I mean, we're having a revolution in Albania in this moment. And of course, he's not resigning. And what is his answer to Albanians' call to resign? He's saying that it is Iran. They're fighting a hybrid war against me. So it is the mullahs of Tehran, because he has been told by Israelis what to say. And he says, yeah, Iran is fighting against me. And these hundreds of thousands of Albanians who are protesting from London to Tirana, from Korça to Shkodra, we are all Iranian thugs. We are all Iranian agents. And by the way, one of the people whom he hates the most in Albania, it's me, because I'm very much outspoken about what our prime minister is doing against our country. And the big difference is that Albanians have become radicalized, because a few years ago, when I was screaming against the Mujahideens and the bringing of this terrorist organization in my country, many Albanians probably did not understand what I was saying. But now what they see is that Israel has created two enclaves within their country. Enclave number one is the Mujahideen camp. You are playing a picture of the Mujahideens. They have their own mini-state. And now Albanians are seeing that probably a second enclave is appearing in their country. And many are calling the Zvernets and Sazan resorts a Zionist colonies. And on the other hand, we have this government which is stealing land from Albanians. You show the article that he is going to give to Israelis 100,000 hectares of land, and most of this land belongs to Albanians. You have protests throughout the country, and this land will be given to Israeli companies. And now the protest is not about the flamingos. This is an anti-Zionist protest. I mean, Albanians, when they protest, if you have seen the pictures from Tirana, some of them are on my Twitter page, they depict Edi Rama as a Zionist rabbi, as a puppet of Netanyahu, and they have posters where they mock Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, Benjamin Netanyahu. And Albanians are openly saying to Israel, Israel, get out. Israel, you cannot get our land. But the problem is that Albanians, they are very weak. Edi Rama has built a very oppressive police state. Many of the protesters are being blackmailed. And it seems that Israel and probably the Americans, who have invested a lot on Rama, they want to keep him to power.
So there it is, folks. That's the interview we did earlier today. I mean, it's explosive. Again, thank you to our great colleague, Olsi Yezheze, who, again, he is a real nemesis of Edi Rama politically in Albania. And Olsi is just one of these people that just says a lot of inconvenient truths. And yeah, you pay a huge political price for that. We've we covered him. He was on the front line of the sort of COVID lockdown in his country, and absolutely got persecuted for that, plus his other coverage that he's done on the MEK which the Israelis and the CIA set up and gave them a whole base of operations, a terrorist organization in Albania, and used them to hit Iran, basically. So it's the level of corruption we're talking about here is just it's just beyond. It's really off the charts. So again, that's a great story here. This is giving you guys an idea of how deep we go into this story, and that we're able to do that, and no other media outlet has. So that's one of the biggest stories right now in the world, and we've done the deepest dive on the financials, and now with what effectively Olsey's a type of whistleblower on this story from Albania, and what he just said there is explosive. You haven't seen that anywhere else. So independent journalism, independent media, we're on the cutting edge. Thank you to Freddie Ponton, Olsey Yezhezi. These are great colleagues and people who are really interested in getting you the truth. And so we need your help to make that happen. So those of you guys, the least you can do here, and we're going to hit the comments after the break when we get our teammates in for Overdrive. But, there's a lot of people on the stream right now. We've got a few thousand people in the live stream. Like this video and subscribe to 21st Century Wire YouTube channel. And also, we're going to ask that you make your way to our website and you hit the donate button on the upper left-hand corner. And there's ways that you can support us, either through donation or subscribing to 21wire.tv. Become a member monthly, just over $5 a month. Makes a huge difference. A lot of you guys like this program. You support the work. You like the work we're doing. You can see the level of journalism that we do consistently, and it's important work. We need your help to make that happen. We need your help. If even a small percentage of the people watching took out a membership with 21wire.tv, it would make a massive difference. You see the work we're doing. We want to do more, and we need your help to drive forward this year and make that happen. So, and those of you who have supported us, you guys are amazing. It's because of you that we're able to get these types of results, and consistently. In other words, more rodeos to come, folks. Many, many more rodeos to come. We're going to take a break right now with our network, Alternate Current Radio, 21st Century Wire. Thank you guys on Rumble. We see some of the comments coming in from Rumble, YouTube, BitChute, as well as Facebook Live, and also our other streams on the audio streams afterwards, Spotify, iTunes, if you subscribe to that podcast, as well as all those other Stitchers, all the other podcasting platforms, we're there as well. So we are syndicating on many, many, many platforms. We're also managing our Telegram channel as well as other channels. So we're managing all of that, and to hit the widest possible audience every week. And that's what we're doing. So again, thank you so much. We're going to take a break right now, and big shout out to the Real Anthem Band. And we'll see you in a few minutes. Back with our team as well on the other side.
Cover in the dark, secret wars are waged, quiet army sabotage, bloody tension remains, global faces of a crime, the sleight of hand betrays. Something slept inside their hearts as explosions rage. The system breaks as truth increases. The grip on us and the around. Shadows of decay. The walls begin to show a crack as ancient echoes fade. Scales shall fall from blinded eyes, renewing all our faith. The system breaks as truth increases. The grip on us and the world border ceases. Behind the mask, it's falling to pieces. What comes next? Have they lost all reason? Eyes open wide. There's no disguise. Eyes open wide. The system breaks as truth increases. The grip on us and the world border ceases. Behind the mask, it's falling to pieces. What comes next? Have they lost all reason? The system breaks as truth increases. The grip on us and the world border ceases. Behind the mask, it's falling to pieces. What comes next? Have they lost all reason?
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Patrick Henningsen. We're streaming out live at 21stcenturywire.com, alternatecurrentradio.com, also Facebook Live, BitChute, Rumble, X. Don't forget about X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube Live, as well as the audio streams after the program. Thank you guys for your participation in this weekly program. Appreciate it. And we're going to be welcoming onto the stage our colleagues as well. We'll bring on one at a time here. This is Bryan McClain, sometimes known as Hesher to certain people, Bryan to others. So he's joining us on the live link, host of the Boiler Room and captain of the bridge at ACR. Welcome to the program, Hesher.
Hey, good to be here with you, Patrick. How's it going?
It's interesting. It's this. I had an idea about this topic, and I got buzzed this morning by a source, and he says I need to talk to you. And I said, really? He said, can we do a podcast? I said, what about 5 o'clock? He couldn't make it because of the time difference. He's in Malaysia, but we did an early recording right before the show, and literally the recording finished right before the live stream. So it was a little bit tight processing the recording and then getting the show on the road stuff. But I don't know if you caught any of that clip, but it's pretty explosive.
Yeah, that's the new hot off the presses, right? Go record a pod right before your pod.
Yeah. So, I mean, Olsey, if you remember Olsey, we had him while he was locked up in Tirana during COVID, and our segment caused some ripples in the media there, if you remember, and that sort of triggered a huge movement. So if that was Olsey, if you remember.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he also exposed Soros's raping of the country with the fracking industry, buying up and taking all the oil. Him and Wesley Clark, George Soros, Wesley Clark, and Tony Blair. Olsey is one of the big guys who exposed that. So he's not liked by Eddie Rama. Let's just put it that way. And he's not going to be liked after this program as well. as all the other reports he's going to be doing. Let me bring on to the stage Adam Clark. Caught you there doing something.
Well, no, I was actually yawning. Thanks for having me, Patrick. Before the program, I'm having trouble staying awake because I thought I might be able to suggest a documentary for you for the Sunday screening next week. So I was doing some research. Yeah, and I found one. It's a little mainstream, but I mean, I was having trouble staying awake through the whole thing. It's called The Commander in Sleep, starring Donald Trump. But yeah, I could not keep my eyes open.
Billionaire, trader, leader of the free world.
Yeah.
Leader of the free world. That's quite a title there.
One. Yeah.
So ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, thanks for having me. I'm just kidding around, of course.
Yeah, and thank you very much. And let me bring on to the stage Mr. Basil Valentine, author, pundit, odds maker, tipster on the weekend.
Yeah, I backed the winner of the Derby.
Did you?
Yes.
Was it a long shot? Was it a long shot or favorite?
It was a long shot when I backed it at 25-1.
20.
But it was then backed all the way into 7-1.
Wow. So you're going to be paying for us all to go on holiday then, right?
No, I had what's called a saver on it. I had a bet on it, which meant that if the other ones I'd bet on didn't win, I'd still be up on the race.
Oh, you did a hedge.
I hedged it. I hedged on it.
You hedged it because you just weren't confident with your instincts, Basil. You know, back in the day, you used to just let it ride. I remember the old Basil was like, yeah, let it ride. Now you have to protect your fortune, so it's much more risky.
Yeah, another winner for the Coolmore partners.
Yeah. Congratulations.
They've won the Derby 12 times.
It's good. So you're the man to talk to before the Derby. So that's 25-1.
Well, we've got another 12 months to wait for the next one.
Good work. 25-1.
Ascot next.
Yes. When are we going to get you involved with like Polymarket or Kalshi and stuff?
Yeah.
We're all so good at the prediction thing, but we're bad at the gambling thing. We
don't have any inside connections, though. That's how you win money on Polymarket and Kalshi. You have to know somebody in the government.
Listen, forgive my ignorance. What is Polymarket?
These are called prediction markets. So they're like usually based on, they're cryptocurrency based prediction. It's gambling, but it's not. But you
political betting is now legal in America.
Yeah, but anything, you could literally say, I think it's going to rain today. And then if people bet, oh, yeah, one way or the other, and if it rains and you say it was going to rain, then you win money. It's that I'm oversimplifying this, but that's what they're doing. And then as Patrick's pointed out here, insiders seem to be making a killing on these predictions, which would mean they're not predicting, they're making it happen. Yeah.
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 So like the endless opening and closing of the Straits of Hormuz, the on-off peace deal and ceasefire, price of oil goes up and down and up again. And
Yep. That's right. For instance, if, you could bet on the price of electricity in the Las Vegas area, put on a bet that it's likely to rise and then just go buy some explosives and plant dynamite on the Hoover Dam and then just let that bet sit there until it matures. That's how you do that. This is what you're opening the door for absolute criminality. I mean, this is a disaster, folks. This betting.
Well, it sounds like a glorified version of the peer-to-peer exchange markets pioneered by Betfair in the UK, where you bet on sporting events, not with a bookmaker, but with somebody willing to offer you those odds. It's as simple as that. So where are these markets available? Where are they formed?
They're on the internet.
Websites, sure, but what are the names of the websites? And
Polymarket and Kalshi.
You have to find somebody willing to lay your bet, obviously. You have to find somebody willing to take the opposite position. Otherwise, there's no bet.
It's doing quite well with the cryptocurrency degenerates, as they're described.
And the Trump family. And Patrick David. PBD's doing good on Polymarket.
And I would imagine
I'm a numbers guy.
There's no limit to the downside or the upside for that matter. So in other words, and
it's mostly unregulated here in the United States.
Right. So, and I would imagine you have to load up your account with crypto in advance of placing any bets, so that if you lose, they simply take the money simply disappears from your account. It's not like you're chased for the money or something, you know.
Yep.
Real quick, there's been some interesting stories where just one example is they were betting over the temperature somewhere, and somebody figured out that the sensor for that was located in a central place inside of an airport. They went to the airport with a hairdryer and manually changed the temperature after placing a bet.
See, that's got to hand it to them. At least they're putting in the effort. I mean,
wow,
they're putting in the effort. They deserve the payout, right?
It's almost like the legalization of marijuana. It's like governments and state governments have figured out how to profit from it enough that we got to deregulate this a little bit or create a bunch of backdoors and loopholes so that we can get in on it, right? So that we can get in and do this kind of stuff. Let's just open up grifting and scamming to the government itself, because we just didn't have enough of it built into the red tape. So we need to actually be able to let people go out and just lay bets and, you know, shift geopolitics around so that they can win bets.
That's right. I think this is such open corruption in the last year and a half. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's next level stuff. Well, look, you guys, will Trump last full term, be forcibly removed? Listen, thank you for that question. And Trump, did you guys see him? And he was marveling over the construction work of his bunker and ballroom, right? And the media were asking him. He said, and I was shocked. Trump said, "Look, I'm not even going to be able to enjoy this. I'll be gone by the time it's done." And I was like, "What? Did he just say that?" So Trump's even saying now he's not going to be like forcing a third term. He must have a lot of money socked away.
The third term's unconstitutional, isn't it?
Or is that's just a formality.
Is it simply a convention, or is it written down somewhere?
It depends. I mean, he could sign an executive order and then say that it's a state of emergency, and then roll it into the NDAA, get a vote from Israel. Will call up and make sure every congressman, senator backs it, and it's done, and he'll get an extension. I mean, there's no rule of law anymore. What are you talking about? It's like so passé. That's so 2000s, Basil.
Yeah.
Constitution, laws, so nostalgic.
Because he wouldn't stand a chance of winning another election at the moment, would he? I mean, it's highly unlikely.
I don't think so.
You say that, but they engineered a result there with Thomas Massey. That was pretty impressive. The guy didn't even campaign. He did a Biden campaign.
I know.
He did a basement campain. Ed Gowron.
He won fair and square.
He's very dynamic, isn't he? Ed Gowron. Did you see him? He's got about as much personality as a Dodge Dart.
Yeah. I'm just looking up the betting here for the next US presidential election. We used to follow it very closely. Gavin Newsom, your 9-2 favorite to win in 2028, 4.5 to 1.
9-2.
Yeah, 4.5 to 1. So usually there's somebody shorter in the betting than that. JD Vance 5 to 1.
Okay.
Marco Rubio 7. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez 16 to 1. Same price Donald Trump. And then you've got John Ossoff.
I like him.
Tucker Carlson next in.
Tucker. I vote for Tucker.
Pete Buttigieg.
Okay.
Josh Shapiro, Kamala Harris, Mark Kelly, Andy Bashir, and on the list goes. Ivanka Trump is only 50 to 1.
Only.
That's the best price in the village. Generally 25 to 1. Ivanka. Wow.
What about Kushner? Is he on there?
I don't know if he's eligible.
Check. Oh, is he a U.S. citizen? Or is he Israeli citizen?
Seeing him listed.
Israeli.
Yeah, Jared Kushner, 150 to 1 with Ladbrokes, but as short as 33 to 1 with William Hill.
33 to 1. That's
with Ladbrokes.
That's better odds than your Derby pick.
Yeah.
Basil, do they have any other podcaster type people on there? Because I got a big prediction. We're going to see a
Joe
lot of
Rogan?
that going on. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
No,
He
he's
would be
not
the
listed.
shortest president ever. He's like 5'2", isn't he?
He's pretty short.
Well, for decades, the rule was that the taller man invariably won the presidency. If you go back through the 20th century, the taller guy always won.
Yep, it's true.
So why is Michelle Obama not on the list then?
Very good.
That means
Very good.
Rubio is in trouble there, right? So is DeSantis, because they're both like scraping like 5'4", 5'5" or something.
Yeah, they have to
Yeah,
wear
but
those.
as you said, it's not a democracy anymore, so it's just like,
Right.
you know.
They wear those like same boots that the guys in Kiss wear, I think, to be a little taller.
Well,
noticed,
Ron wears the
gentlemen, have you
flamenco
guys-
dancing shoes, which have a big, and I think Marco's quite good at the flamenco too. Marco likes the frilly pink shirts. He's quite the flamboyant Latino character there, Marco. Okay.
The one I would back is Nikki Haley at 100 to 1.
Oh,
although I hate the idea, of course, what a
that would be a
horrendous
good
idea.
payout.
But if the nightmare came to pass, well, at least you backed 100 to 1 winner. It would sweeten the pill.
You see
know.
what this is, Basil? That's the skin crawling up my back when you
Yeah.
mentioned her name. Running for president. I couldn't take her like in front. It should be on the debate stage. I couldn't watch
It'd
it.
be awful. I'd feel like I made
There's
blood
every
money if I won that bet.
I don't think 100 to 1 is a bad bet, particularly if you can cash out early, because I think there's every chance she'll run again. She got further against Trump than anybody else last time round. She's the darling of the Israel lobby. We haven't had the woman yet, in spite of all the talk.
I'd rather
So,
bet on Armageddon, quite frankly.
Well, you'd probably get 2 for the price of 1. You'd probably get Armageddon with her.
Well done, Basil. Well done. Smooth. Very smooth.
Hey, there was
gosh.
a super chat attached to that last question, so thank you for that. Here's another one with a super chat attached, Patrick.
Patrick, how do we defund the billionaires that are impoverishing us all? Well, let's just start one at a time. Don't shop on Amazon.com. There's the first one.
Yeah.
If you can
Cancel your
manage.
Amazon Prime subscription.
That'll deal with Bezos. And what else? Who's next? Elon. Well, definitely short Tesla stock. If it's probably going to get acquired by SpaceX and some crazy IPO merger or whatever coming up. But there's a couple of billionaires there. I mean, they're the worst. Again, we could sort of derail the whole Mars mission by like spreading a rumor that there are black people on Mars. Elon will then turn around and he'll pull the plug on the whole thing. So there's various things that we can do. We have various tools at our disposal. Any other suggestions, gentlemen? Other billionaires that we can derail or thwart?
Defunding billionaires is a
defund?
tall ask. That's pie in the sky for a lot of us. We got a couple good ideas there. I think that one thing you can do, it doesn't necessarily defund them, but you can help destroy their social credit by being honest about them. When people are touting the billionaires, I meet a lot of people that are just infatuated with every single one of these inhumane creatures. And I never let them, polish them. I strike the idol off of the altar and say, no, that guy's a friend of Jeffrey. What are you talking about? Things like that.
There are a
I'm
lot.
pleased to say there's a campaign to kick Palantir out of all UK government contracts is gathering pace.
There you go.
It's good.
So,
it's doing well.
It could well happen. It could well happen.
Well, guess who the unlikely hero one of is Sadiq Khan. He's
he put a block on a police contract with Palantir. Yep.
And so our man in Soho Square, Heiko Koo. Heiko seemed like he was up against it. Remember, like 6 months ago. Now he's looking really confident. One guy, Heiko.
Yeah.
From Speaker's Corner, taking on Palantir. I love it.
Yeah, there's a good piece on on Drop Site News, is it, or Double Down, with Carol Cadwallader. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Who's been crusading again, similarly, against Palantir. As for the others, yeah, as Hesher says, you know, just talk them down where possible. And of course, you know, we should all really be campaigning for a wealth tax. You know, the political way to draw at least some of their sting is to say, I mean, I personally,
that's just going to drive them offshore, isn't it? I mean,
but if everybody does it, then they'll end up on Mars. You know,
but
all countries have to introduce wealth taxes.
They'd all have to do it.
Personal wealth at 100 million,
including the Solomon Islands.
My God, you know,
or Sazan Island. Did you hear Basil? Did you guys hear Ivanka Trump discovered Albania? They were sailing on Nat Rothschild's yacht.
They were sailing on. Was it Nat Rothschild's yacht? Was it?
Yes, it was. And they discovered Albania, and it was an enchanting experience. I don't know if you caught that clip I played of Ivanka. It was so inspirational that she manifested that. I think it's just
saw this beautiful island and thought, I'll have that.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, why don't they all move to Argentina? They might. Peter Thiel, did you guys see he's planning on purchasing the country, I think, and just deregulating it.
Aren't they setting up a Zionist outpost on land that was set fire to?
Among many other outposts, yes. It's a free-for-all down there. Yeah. Zelensky's got a piece as well down there.
Right.
Bariloche, where all the Nazis went after Second World War, Zelensky's got a little compound down there. Birds of a feather, Martin Bormann.
Yeah. Of course, Cyprus as well. They're buying up quite a bit of that.
Well, they've run into problems in Cyprus, as Olsey was explaining to us. Too much regulation with the EU, not corrupt enough. Albania, different story.
What's with their flag, by the way? Speaking of Rothschilds, isn't that similar to something there? Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually. That's spooky. That's the Albanian flag.
Yeah.
That is the Albanian flag, but their symbol there looks reminiscent of something related to the Rothschild. Yes, their coat of arms.
You mean the red shield? We'll have a look at that. Do a little search on the red shield Rothschild family coat of arms. I do feel like there's a similarity there, Ruckus, just from memory, but yeah. So Nat Rothschild just cruising down the Adriatic there, and we saw this beautiful island, and they swam to the island and hiked up it barefoot all the way to the top. I doubt it, honestly. Have you ever hiked barefoot in wilderness before? It's painful. Not to mention, I think Hesher's on mute.
I doubt Ivanka's ever done it.
Well, she says she did.
Yeah, right.
She claimed she did. So there they are. This is the piece. Freddie just absolutely broke it open with this, and he published that, basically. Freddie put this one together. So that's the full financial structure of this scam. And we put it out before anybody, and now everybody is using this for their presentations. So hat tip to our own Freddie Ponton for a great piece of journalism there. Okay, Ruckus, this is not quite the same, although the dragons do look the same, the black dragons.
Yeah, it really just screamed at me when I saw the Albanian flag. I immediately thought Rothschild. And then in the story, it's like, oh, there's a relation to the Rothschilds. It might be nothing there, but there you have it. This is the coat of arms for the Rothschilds.
Right. Well, it's got the eagle there, hasn't it, in one corner? Yeah. But you get a lot of eagles in coats of arms. So, yeah, that's the key diagram there. I mean, at the moment, I've heard funds have been frozen. There's a corruption investigation. I saw an interview with Eddie Rama where he said that Jared Kushner was a great bloke.
Did he say bloke? Did he use that term?
He might have done. I mean, he used to sort of colloquialism like that. Yeah. Yeah. And he's a hardcore Zionist,
Oh,
he's all in favor of this thing. So, will he be toppled? This is the thing,
Yeah.
Will he get turned over? Who knows?
Well, he turned over his country to you-know-who right there. So
yeah,
it's devastating. And just for a good measure, there we are. Alex Soros, Bill Clinton. That's a post-Epstein Clinton, by the way, in case you're wondering. And then, Basil, I thought you'd get a kick out of this one. It's like going on holiday.
It does look as if he's slightly photoshopped on, but I'm sure he isn't.
That was a younger Blair. That was a 2013 Blair.
Right.
So you can see with the gold chain, it's quite a good look for Tony, don't you think?
God.
Jeez.
Sorry.
It's bad. Thank you, Sticky Marks, 1919. The flamingo knows the turtle is eternal. Be careful what you wish for. Mrs. Kushner, thanks again. LMPs from this crazy old lady in Yorkshire. Can anyone translate that for me?
Well, I just think she's sort of alluding to the fact that Mrs. Kushner, Ivanka Trump, has bitten off more than she can chew, and that the wildlife will be conspiring against this project one way or another. I sincerely hope so,
I mean, turtles are a big deal. Let's just be honest. Turtles are a big deal. Sea turtles are an even bigger deal. Just, as a human, I'm saying that. And then as someone who has experienced the environmental protections, that are arguably exploited and in California, it got to a point where, I'll give you an example. I was working at the Naval Air Weapons Station in China Lake in California, and just to be visiting there, right, to be on a temporary work order there, I had to go through a 1-day-long tortoise training class about what to do if we were to happen to see the rare desert tortoise while we were out on the bombing range. So
in case you got chased by a tortoise, how to take evasive action, right?
Everything, what to do, what not to do, where not to step, where to step. I mean, I was fine with it. It's like, okay, cool. I would rather know what to do if I see an endangered species crossing the street, while I'm driving a rented vehicle down it or something like that. But it's like, and same with, you go to places where sea turtles spawn at night. Like I was in Hawaii a few times, and it was like, they have those areas roped off. Like you are an absolute evil person pretty much in the eyes of the state, the city, and any environmentally conscious person. If you're walking the beach at night, even in your bare feet across sea turtle nesting grounds, you can get arrested for that here.
Yeah.
Look at this one, guys. Peter Thiel is back in Skynet's repair shop for updates.
Oh no.
If only he was joking, a friend came back from China recently, and she said they are now using robot police dogs over there.
Really?
Yeah.
They're very creepy, those little four-legged things.
Yeah.
Imagine 100 of those coming over the hill.
Cameras everywhere. Cameras recording your conversation, microphones recording your conversation in the back of a taxi. Everything that is said in the taxi is recorded.
That's right. That's why you should always be talking trash. Is Peter Thiel the creepiest billionaire ever? He is pretty creepy, isn't he?
He's just a strong candidate. Certainly, I mean, him and Karp between them,
Yeah, that's true.
They're kind of one entity to me, Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peter Karp, Alex Thiel. Where does one end, the other one begin? Chanel
3202, popular perfume brand. Taylor Swift is friends with the Kushners. Effing scumbag. She's not happy about that. Is it true? Is Taylor Swift friends with the Kushners? I wouldn't be surprised.
All these people hang out together in the sort of, I hesitate to call them super elite, because they're, as the commenter says, they're scumbags, they're trash, but they certainly consider themselves to be elite. As George Carlin famously said, it's one big club and you ain't in it.
Basil, the mystery of Sazin Island has been solved in Albania. It's right there. Thank you to Amadovic Nas. The island was promised by God to Jared 3,000 years ago. So don't make such a big deal out of it. He's so right. That's it. That's it. Promised by God. End of the argument. Give them some military aid.
Give them a medal. I found this, by the way. Very interesting.
More Rothschild paraphernalia.
Well, this one was in a search for the double-headed eagle from the Masonic, and then I found this in a Reddit thread. And then I also thought, well, historically speaking, I remember some of the bad guys under the mustache guy wearing symbols that look very similar to this too. So I'm going to do a little bit of a deeper dive and understand why.
Where's that medal from, by the way, that you just showed?
It was on a Reddit thread where the guy found this medal and he wants to know what it is or where it's from. And so I'm going to dig deeper through the thread. So, okay, but I thought it was interesting.
But yeah, that's the double-headed eagle. So there must be some, maybe do an AI deep dive on the double-headed eagle.
I'm guessing it's going to have something to do with the Ottoman Empire. Just a wild guess. Already.
Yeah, that's probably about. Yeah, you're in the right neighborhood there. You're definitely in the right.
It's interesting to me because I like symbols. I don't know.
Yeah, warbling. So it's calling it there. Yes.
Yeah, Albania's always been a sort of outsider in Europe, partly, because in our lifetimes it was isolated, wasn't it? Under Enver Hoxha, it was the last Stalinist outpost when all the others had folded up, and then it became associated with a particularly aggressive organized crime mob, who were heavily implicated in drug dealing, particularly around the Mediterranean and further north. And then there was something of an opening up when the Stalinist regime ended, but it's always had a sort of, Western Europeans, Northern Europeans have always been sort of slightly suspicious of Albania, more so than the other former Yugoslav countries that it borders. I'm not quite sure why. Might be a genetic thing. Albanians tend to be dark-haired. They tend to be Muslim, and not entirely sort of trusted by North and Western Europeans. Whether there's any good reason for that or not, I've no idea. But I wouldn't trust Rama further than I could throw him.
He's a gangster. He looks like a nightclub bouncer.
Yes, he does. Yes.
Rupert Fellows, the two-headed eagle has its origins in the East and West Roman empires. I think he might be right there, but not exclusively though. I don't think even the Romans had total exclusivity over the double-headed eagle. But as Ruckus pointed out, I do remember the tiny mustache man and some doubled eagle action there as well. So we'll see. Sticky marks.
Yeah, I was going to say it goes all the way back to the Roman Empire, on those SPQR banners,
Sticky marks 1919. Peter Thiel relocates to Buenos Aires. Thing about Nazis is they're so predictable. Don't cry for me, yada, yada, yoda, because I look like him. I think I'm wise. Laugh. Sorry. You're having a good time today, Sticky Marks. He's enjoying himself there from Yorkshire. Big up.
I mean, obviously they've got a
Yorkshire massive. Thank you, Sticky Marks.
Friendly president in Argentina at the moment, in the shape of Milei. But if he goes, and you get believe it or not, is it possible an anti-Zionist president of Argentina?
It's possible there'll be a backlash for sure.
When I say it's possible, I don't mean because the people want it or don't want it, but We all know that they like to back all sides, you know, and destroy the reputations of anybody that strays off the reservation, and then rig the elections to boot as well. So that's why, you know, a genuine election in Argentina may be as difficult as anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, I mean, Milei is, not only has he been a disaster economically, I mean, aren't they at some like crazy inflation and economic collapse rate or something like that? I think he robbed Social Security to make it look like there was less of a deficit. He pulled one of those ones. But apparently he's related to Netanyahu.
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Have you guys seen his karaoke singing? It's like he's living his best life, isn't he?
No, what's his go-to jam for karaoke?
It's bad. See if we can pull a video or something, but it's bad. So he holds rallies so people can come and hear him sing. I mean, it's not great.
Sounds better than a Trump rally, honestly.
It's not great. But I mean, I look at this guy, Milei, and he looks like, you know, from a genetic point of view, a total train wreck. I mean, it looks like all of the sort of extra genes, and you end up with the president of Argentina. I mean, the guy's a mess. He's crazy, and although he is a very good friend of Israel, that should count for something, right? There he is.
Yes, it's the sideburns and the hair that get me. He looks like he belongs in the Moody Blues circa 1968, except that they were all much better looking than him, you know.
Yeah.
How much trouble did he get into for that cryptocurrency rug pull scam?
No trouble at all.
Oh, neat.
I think Elon was in on that, by the way. Elon was in on the pump and dump, I heard.
Maybe that was what the chainsaw was about, because Milei gifted Elon Musk with a chainsaw, remember, which was interesting. Because Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest person, needs gifts, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he needs...
Well, he did some publicity stunt with a chainsaw in the run-up to the election. So, you know, saying he was going to take a chainsaw to the deficit and a chainsaw to inflation. And people got very excited and they believed him. And... you know, because Argentina's been in a rolling economic crisis for about 20, 25 years. You know,
Never believe a man with a golden chainsaw.
Milei is short for Milikowski, and that's Netanyahu's actual family name.
Right.
Milikowski.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, people are up. Everybody is onto this guy. Those sideburns are homage to Rothbard. How about that, Basil? Donut Steel 8878.
Right. Yeah. Who is Rothbard? Is it a reference to Rothschild?
No. Rothbard is a character in is it Red Dwarf? I can't remember, or some show or something. Where's Rothbard?
He looks like he belongs in Harry Potter or something. He really does look like something out of a movie.
He's a disaster. What's he going to do for a job after he's done wrecking his country?
Oh, he'll find some nice sinecure. He'll be looked after. Don't worry about him, you know.
Is that his OnlyFans photo? Ask Dark Commission. I don't know. Maybe Milei is going to need an OnlyFans account when he gets done, because I think he could sing karaoke on OnlyFans.
I saw this morning that 10% of all American girls aged between 18 and 24 have OnlyFans accounts where they either perform or put up pictures of themselves in.
I heard it was 30%.
You heard it was 30%.
I heard it was 30%.
All American girls aged 18 to 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 out of 3.
And yet, originally, when it was launched, pornography was banned by the site. And the whole aim of it was a way for celebrities to sell merchandise, autographs, concert programs, that kind of interact with their fans in a way that provided easier access for fans to their idols. And this whole pornography thing only came in when that other bloke who recently died of a heart attack bought a controlling stake in the company.
The Israeli guy.
What a coincidence! Yes,
Leonid Radvinsky
right.
is the primary shareholder there, and he was born in Odessa in 1982 to a Jewish family and immigrated to Chicago when he was a kid. So,
okay, there you go.
And he dropped down dead of a heart attack about 2 months ago.
Yeah, he must have been. I mean, he was really rich, wasn't he? But I guess
4.7 billion was his investment portfolio at the time of his death.
So even rich billionaires drop dead of heart attacks. Maybe he was vaxxed up. I don't know what the story was there, or he's having a good time.
A little too much gooning out to OnlyFans, perhaps.
He's enjoying his billions, apparently.
Perhaps cocaine and a few of the injections. That's a pretty lethal combination, I would imagine.
Yep. That's it. So he was a big contributor to the IDF or something, I heard. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Or settlements. So that's interesting how that money makes its way to good causes, right?
Yeah, he also donated $5 million to quote-unquote Ukraine relief in 2022.
So he's really doing a lot for the community. And
also in 2023, after the Lever obtained confidential internal documents obtained from IPAC, Radvinsky and his wife had contributed $11 million to IPAC.
So he had a wife. That's impressive.
Yeah.
She's probably on board with it.
He was a billionaire and he only contributed 11 million. What's up with that, buddy?
It's a little tax write-off right there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a bit tight. Speaking of eyebrows, you know who I'm going to bring on stage. I don't mean to, but I figure equal time, the equal time rule in media. If you show melee, then you have to show, you comment on the eyebrows, and you have to show the other guy as well. So where is he? Can't remember. So find this guy. Anyway, where is he? He's not popping up, but you know what I'm talking about.
There's only Ben with eyebrows. Only one that could fit this.
Yeah. I think we maxed up on our images this week, so I can't really load any more new images up. But
Matt Walsh broke ranks last week, didn't he? And said that the Iran war was a disaster.
Really?
Yeah. Will he keep his job with the Daily Wire?
Oof.
Who knows?
Yeah. Eat your groceries. Could you imagine Ben's eyebrows on melee? I don't know. There's Ben. There's melee. So Ben, melee, Ben. I mean, Ben's got some pretty epic eyebrows. And people are asking, did he have implants, enhancements, or anything like that? Because people had remarked that his eyebrows seemed smaller before. And they've been getting bigger and bigger. Is that a status thing? Is there status attached to having big eyebrows in certain quarters?
Someone on X figured it out, Patrick, in case you missed it. I think it's
I did miss
Youssef. Oh, yeah. They figured it out. The secret of Ben Shapiro's eyebrows is that he gets his salary from Nat Rothschild. See, there's Rothschild again. There you go. But there's those bushy eyebrows everybody
Are those
loves.
Really his eyebrows? Are you?
No, they are. Yeah,
they
are.
Actually, in that case, he was. Yeah, he's gone crazy with these things. I think that's a legit picture there. Yeah.
And Rothschild doesn't appear to have any eyebrows at all.
Nothing.
Weird.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're saying.
That's really weird. There's some enhancements there. Yeah, he does look like Guy Ritchie, not Rothschild there.
Nat's got the turtle look, smooth skin.
Michael Knowles, that's another one at the Daily Wire there, who is a complete sellout. But it's a very weird organization. So Matt Walsh has broken ranks. I guess he needs some viewers. He needs some
Yeah, he said he
subs.
thought the Iran war was a waste of time and money.
Better late than never, Matt. Well done. 12 months it took. Thanks for showing up to the party.
Speaking of breaking ranks, did you guys see what happened to Scott Paley?
No. Who? And tell us remind us who Scott
60
Paley is.
Minutes.
60 Minutes, yes.
Yeah, he got canned.
You got canned?
Yep.
By
Because
Barry Weiss?
because he dared to speak out against what was happening there from the inside out, thanks to Ellison and Weiss. Yep.
Oh, wow.
I think Matt Kennard called Andy Burnham a immoral machine politician. That's such a perfect description.
Yeah.
He's just a machine politician. His brand has tanked, Basil. He was king of the North, and now he's like been sent up to the northern northern night watch. Now he's got to sit by the ice wall for the rest of his life.
Well, it's been an interesting week in Labour politics because Wes Streeting, who's no longer in the cabinet, started making noises about how he had circulated a dossier highlighting the war crimes in Gaza, and Starmer slapped him down and said, "Oh, this looks like something that was made just to be leaked." But Streeting didn't do anything about his dossier. He's, now years after the carnage, or rather while it's still going on, he's trying to position himself as the sort of conscience of the Labour Party, if you like. Burnham this week declined to describe what's happened in Gaza as a genocide. He said it was too far away, and that as Mayor of Manchester, he wasn't in a position to judge such huge events, So one wonders whether that will change the Green Party's position vis-a-vis the upcoming by-election, because they have a candidate, but on the advice of Caroline Lucas, amongst others, the first Green MP, there are 3 or 4 now, they're not running a full throttle campaign like they did in Gorton and Denton when they got their candidate elected, because Burnham has made noises in the past about wanting to bring in proportional representation, which would be a huge advantage to the Greens, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that'll change now. I mean, I know that a lot of the Greens are very angry about it.
The only noise Burnham's making now are groans of pain and soreness, watching his poll numbers plummet. But right, have you ever heard of the term browbeating? Browbeating. This is 0 point zap. This is a type of genius commenting from our audience here. Ben could browbeat somebody with those eyebrows. Do we have the sound effects handy? There we go.
But Burnham is going to benefit from the right-wing vote being split across. That's very good. I like that.
Is that the same person?
Yeah, very good. I
don't know.
Dylan Mulvaney and Ben Shapiro. No one's ever spotted them in the same room before.
Because Restore Britain are running hard against reform, and could hand the seat to Burnham.
Yeah, we've got Reform. Yeah. We've got Reclaim. We've got
they're finished. They're finished.
Resume. I think Resume wrapped up as well. They're a reverse migration, and then we've got Restore. What else
Restore Britain? Well, there was Advance UK as well, which was Ben Habib's party.
That's Elon Musk's one of his pet projects.
Yeah, that's finished. That's finished.
So
that's getting folded into Restore Britain.
Let's throw this out to the comment. You have to come up with a new right-wing political party, and it must start with RE something. So you've got Reform, Restore, Reclaim, Resume. So give us some other new party names here. What's the next one going to be called?
Refuse.
Yeah, there we go. Refuse.
Okay, yeah.
How about this would be good for Britain. Regret, Basil. Regret. The Regret Party.
Redacted.
Okay, here we go. They're coming in. Rubbish, relapse. I like relapse. I like that. The relapse party.
It works good for Tony Blair.
How about this, Basil? Rebuke as a political party. Yeah. Rebuke. Yeah. Revile. Revile, I like that. It's got a little bit of a revert.
Well, the one that's missing is revolution, isn't it?
Shh, don't say that.
We can't name a party that, can we?
No. Refried, regurgitate. Look at this. Red shield. Oh, easy now. Easy now. Get good backing, though, with that one. Regurgitate, refried, renew. Renew's kind of obvious, but somebody would probably go for that, knowing these vapid
reboot?
Political operators. What was that, Ruckus?
Reboot.
Reboot. I like that, especially if it was a jackboot. Be very good. Repulsive. Reverse blighty. Reestablish, too long. Revile, rebuke. What do you guys like so far out of what they've provided us here?
I like revile. That one's pretty good. We've got redemption coming out of the Discord over here. Thanks, homie.
Nice. How about resign?
Yeah, resign. I like that one. That's good.
Yeah, very good.
I like that. That's good. That I'm going to put that on screen. That's clever, simple, and it does the job. I like it. This could be good for an evangelical party. Redeem. Regret. Yeah, I like that. That's
redemption.
Ridiculous. How about this, guys? Renege.
Or renegade.
Renegade. Renege. This is genius. A party that's going to renege, because that's what they do, isn't it? Politicians renege.
Yeah.
Reanimate. Again, another one for rebuke. This is genius here. Retire.
Revolve.
This should be for certain politicians, should be in the retire party.
Yeah, definitely.
They're like their last term or whatever, their last run. They get into the retire basket. Revert, remorse, refuse, or refuse. Which way does this go? Is it refuse or refuse? Could be either one. There's a bit of a double entendre there.
Yeah.
How about this? This is genius. Relapse.
Nice.
I love that. That'll get
Fortunately, all we get is recycled.
Resist. Why not resist? It's so simple. That's just about as good as revolution, right?
Yes. Why resist sepultura? Wretched. Very good.
Wretched.
How about reimburse?
Yeah, there you go. Reimburse. Spare change. Hope and spare change. Repress. Regression. Regress. I like that. Regress. It's kind of a Luddite party.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah, I like that.
Especially in the age of AI. We need more regress. Retreat Britain. The Americans would say, that's the French party. Retire. Retard Trotters Trading Company. There you go. Del Boy. Revolting. Repulse. Repulse. That'd be popular.
What about reconcile? We need reconciled.
Repurpose. That's based. Retard. Revolt. It's revolt. Perfect, right? The Revolt Party. What are they going to do, though?
Yeah, what's the platform?
Rerun the Reptile Party.
There we go. David Icke would like that.
Yeah. Reboot. There we go. Reboot. Reinstate. Rerun. Yeah, that's good. Rerun's good. Renounce. What would you renounce, Basil, if you were a member of the Renounce Party, the manifesto? You're just renouncing things at the party conference. Welcome to the Renounce annual AGM. These are the things that we're going to renounce. What are you going to renounce, Basil?
NATO, Zionism, the European Union.
Fractional reserve banking.
Hey, why not? Add it to the list.
I think we found a winner, folks. I like this. We've even advanced to the party manifesto in less than 30 seconds. That means this is a good concept. Thank you, Michelle 1234-Y. Free Congo. What are you guys talking about? That's not what we're doing here. Reinstall. It's kind of a
Reboot
Yeah.
the country. I mean, that is to some extent what Restore Red Rum, very good. What Restore are looking to do is reboot. You know,
recon.
they're gaining ground. You know, you can joke around. They're gaining ground. That, believe it or not, they're only 12-1 to have the most seats in the Houses of Commons at the next general election, and the thing was only formed 4 months ago by one MP. You know, so these are incredibly volatile times politically.
Re-oven. What does that mean? Like reheat? Reheat. No. The rectal party. I don't know about that one, but could work. Certain cities. Repel. This is good. Yeah, retire, reductive, refresh. Refresh. That could be good. Certain type of constituency there. Retro, the retro party, the remake party. Again, revolution. Very dangerous, that one. I like this. The Epstein party.
Brutal.
We can make logos for any of these real easy. There's your renounce party for whoever wanted that. I think that would work.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
well
quick.
done.
Yeah, you pick a few winners and your boy will make some graphics for you.
What's the chain about though? Are you
I have no idea. This was Grok who did this one. So yeah.
It shows you where Grok's at, really.
Grok's a weird one, folks.
Grok is
all
a
of
weird
them.
one. Recoil. How about that? Recoil. Ruin. This will be good right here. Ruin. The Ruin party. Anyway, reflux. That's got potential. Reflux. The reflux party.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, see, there's plenty of options here. So, the right wing has a deep war chest here of ideas for new spin-off parties for reform to split the vote. Wouldn't it be amazing, Basil, if the vote just got split on the right and the left, and then the Tories somehow came in and managed a coalition?
I mean, I think Badenoch's arguably the worst of all of them, really. She's a really, really despicable creature, So
do you get it feels like she's the student president. She's like the student president. It's like the student union president, kind of. Anyway.
No, I mean, I'd be very happy to see the Tory party completely disintegrate.
Really? All that tradition?
I did think of joining it, believe it or not. So, as an entryist activity, so that you could get in and then just take it in a completely different direction.
I think you'd dominate. You just go in and dominate.
But I don't think I realized I couldn't bear to be in the same room as a lot of the people in the Tory party. Literally couldn't bear to be in the same room.
I'm thinking reinstall Ruckus. Reinstall.
That might work with that same logo too.
Yeah.
Rebirth Britain. Yeah, there's a lot of Kemi Badenoch. Yeah, you're getting some purchase in there. Well, look, we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes, but anything else of note that we haven't spoken about that needs to be aired, do you think?
Well, Ivanka and Jared really was the big red flag for me this week, and I think we did a pretty good job with that one. I don't know. Do you think there's any chance this is going to be rolled back, that the protests could have any sort of success? Because I see them put up barbed wire around it. It's something we brought up on Boiler Room this last week. Like, what if the four of us decided, hey, let's go build a data center, or let's go buy an island, just imagine we had that kind of cash. Like, would they even allow that? Would that even be allowed anywhere? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's the most absurd, tone deaf thing on its face in so many directions. Like, I don't know. It just seems, and go put up barbed wire around it, right? Like, hey, Pat, let's go walk this mountain. You know what? This is really nice. I'd like to hike here without all these other people, and be able to build a resort here so we can bring our friends. Let's put barbed wire up around it, and then anybody that protests and tries to come through, we'll have, you know, private security beat them with sticks and drag them across the ground. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's hard to imagine the people there like having to put up with this. But then you look at what Albanians have already put up with throughout history, and it's like, oh crap, you know. And we're seeing Lebanon, you know, being Gazaed in front of our eyes while people are telling us it's not happening. Like Amanpour, who you had on earlier, that really fired me up and made me pissed off. But what do you think about these protesters and the locals? They should have a right to say F you to these guys.
Well, it was the fact they put the fences up, and a lot of people have land there or like holiday huts or whatever, and so they were denied access to the land. That's what fired up the crowds on part of this. So they made some huge mistakes. Obviously, they're not very well organized. Whoever's trying to, you know, run this whole scam or whatever. But so it caught wind, and what Olsey told us was that the government is using Palantir to track people at protests and getting the secret police to contact them.
Yep.
And they know they can't keep people from protesting because it'll be too many. But they're blackmailing people, saying you can go out and protest, but don't mention Israel. Don't mention any of that. Just talk about flamingos, and that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to you. And apparently, the Israelis are running the counter protest surveillance and all that.
You don't say.
Yeah. So they're using all these Palantir tech, surveillance tech, and then their facial recognition. This is like, you know, what I'm saying, guys, is that
Black Mirror.
Well, look, the testing grounds is always one of these countries where they're doing all this stuff that they plan to roll out later in the quote developed, you know, Western countries or whatever. Albania is like one of these places. Ukraine was one. They'd had the whole digital UBI. It was all planned at Davos, and Ukraine was going to be the test case. Albania is for this massive surveillance digital police state, dragnet state. They're running everything in Albania. So that's the fear there. And Palestine, Gaza, that's another one. They're running all this stuff there.
We've got Alex Karp running around on camera, happily telling the people of the world, we will destroy you. If we don't like you, we will destroy you, your uncle, your business, your kids, everyone you know. And then we also just recently saw Netanyahu with a reporter telling her, hey, what's that phone thingy in your pocket? Would you like us to break into that thing and reveal all your deepest secrets and stuff? So like, this is the thing. And everybody's upset about Peter Thiel, right? I am too. I've been talking about Palantir on podcasts since 2012. Okay. And when I brought it up in 2012, most people like had to look it up. They're like, I don't understand what this is. But it's like, okay, Peter Thiel this, Peter Thiel that. Well, the real problem is that all this guy is a data merchant. And the real evil people are the ones he's feeding the data to, who will do things like that to normal citizens. And it's freaking disgusting. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Peter Thiel's gross and all, but who has access to his data? You know, who has access to him and Alex Karp's data? And why is it that the one government that those guys support the most, you know, they will go out on camera and say, yeah, we're gonna ruin your life.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit too, especially Alex Karp. I just have a feeling he's so cocky. I mean, Thiel's a little more. Thiel's crazy and very kind of, I don't know, something very evil about him. And he's a little bit unhinged. But Karp is just cocky, and like I'm thinking, you know, Palantir could go up in flames. I mean, it could happen. They're not impervious to, you know, whatever. I mean, it could happen to Elon. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I mean, he's the biggest, right?
Look at Howard Hughes.
These guys are, I don't know if they can fall because they're, you know, honestly, they're government assets. They're considered national security planks in the country. So it's like, there's no way they're going to you know, they're too big to fail in the monetary market. You know, that's just $500 billion here, $500 billion there. Get it from the government, you know, extract it from the people, whatever. Like their personality could crash and burn, their business could transform, but the infrastructure that they are the spokespeople for, let's not kid ourselves that it's like, you know, a business that was made in a garage and, you know, pays normal taxes like everybody else's businesses. These things are funded by NQTEL, CIA, the US government. They've got endless military contracts, and these guys are all data center owners now. And if you got something bad to say about a data center in this country now, guess what? You're on a new government list. Yay, we're already on all the government lists, but now you're on the anti-tech government list, and anti-data center tech, you know, government blacklist is people that don't want data centers in their towns. That's all it is. They're not even people talking about doing bad things to them. They just don't want them there. And then what do? They go to protests, and what happens to them? The same thing you just described, Patrick. They get geofenced, and then they probably start getting harassed at best.
So what a lot of people is asking, what are the data centers really for? Are they really for driving AI, or for basically surveilling us, tracking
Both.
us,
Probably
facially? What? Go ahead, Basil.
I think they're probably for both. I mean, I've heard they make a terrible noise if you're anywhere near it, as well as using all the water and unbelievable amounts of energy. You know, I thought we were supposed to be in the age of nano computing, where, you know, all these vast bits of infrastructure were no longer necessary because you could put the world's most powerful computer on a pinhead or something. Doesn't seem to be the case, does it?
Well, Basil, I think you're correct. In fact, a few of them are pointing that out, including the CEO of Perplexity, who has suggested that the future of AI, he doesn't understand why we're building so many data centers when you can just do this on your own personal device offline.
That's what the Chinese model is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look what the Chinese did with their DeepSeek and all the stuff that they got now. And then just recently, the Anthropic people came out and said that in the very near future, all of this stuff's going to get smaller. As your point, like, we're not stupid. We've been paying attention. It's always gotten smaller, but now we're in this. Oh no, we got to expand. Now we got to make things bigger.
Yeah.
Something doesn't add up here. And then the same thing with the quantum chips. Even the quantum computing stuff is already starting to miniaturize. Microsoft they have allegedly a quantum chip they've been working on. Now they're using lead, which frightens people like me and Hesher, because we like our lead for protective purposes, not inside of our computer chips. But anyways, so pay attention to that story, folks. But they're making them smaller, and they say that they will have personal computers in your house, everywhere you go, inside your devices, running on quantum computing chips by 2029.
Wow.
Which is cutting in half their previous estimate about how long this was. They were already talking, well, we won't see this stuff till 2040. Then they were like, we'll see this in the mid 2030s. And now they're like, yeah, no, it's coming here in a couple of years, guys. Hold on to your butts.
So that creepy
but again,
Canadian,
smaller. Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary, the creepy Canadian, said his data center's what was it? How many acres?
620 hectares or something, you know, just huge.
Like the size of a fucking city.
Oh, 60 miles is what I'm thinking, yeah.
That uses more power than the whole state of Utah.
It's
a 9 gigawatt, 40,000 acre project.
40,000 acres. How many? How big is that?
That's like 2 Rhode Islands or something.
Is that the size of a county or what?
Big. It's not that big, but it's very big. It would be a very, 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 very big farm.
And just full of servers?
The claim is that it will run off grid on natural gas. So this is okay. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I keep seeing this. Our mayor in our town actually sent an email out to everybody saying, talking about the pros and cons, right? And he was attempting to alleviate people's fears about the amount of electricity and water in part of his email. And his claim is that the data center, well, there are 8 data centers proposed in our sleepy town, if you can believe
8
that.
For your town?
Yeah, 3 are already approved, 5 more, and the townsfolk are not happy about it.
What is it going to do?
like Facebook's building one, Google's building, like all these guys are coming here
they
to
want to
build
put it
one.
in your town for other people to use around the state.
I guess. I mean,
Okay.
everybody wants to know, why do we need this many of them? If the numbers that James Lee put out on his X account are correct, what we're seeing right now is that China has less than 500 data
Wow.
centers, and the United States is like 1,460 or something like
Okay.
that. And
Okay. Have you seen this conspiracy theory, guys? Data centers used to fill female. So these are really prisons, or it's Sully and Green. They're not going to be data centers. Have you seen that conspiracy theory?
I have, yeah.
I've said something very similar to that from the get-go early on Weaponized News, I believe. Shout out to Sam Shaney and Weaponized News. It was like, well, maybe this is just cover for building the infrastructure for our prisons, because we're going to see a lot of activity. The money's got to go. People are going to get hired. They're going to build stuff, and they don't really know what the hell is going on. So it'd be so much easier to just build our prisons right in front of our faces. They're already labeled them as military installations, which is interesting. I'm like, in the name of AI, even that doesn't make sense. I don't care how many. So I believe that they have labeled them as military installations, but I don't believe it's because it's for the AI, because it's probably for, literally locking us up. Yay.
So they require all this water. Why does it need to be fresh water? Why can't it be recycled water? Why fresh water? Can someone answer me that? Riddle me that one.
I feel like what we're seeing is a whole like smorgasbord of marketing, and I feel like it's really clever marketing, and the marketing is meant to ease people's fears. It's meant to the marketing is particularly, the thing I'm noticing from the language I'm seeing from our local government, and when I see other people's local governments advocating for bringing data centers in, it seems as though, it seems to me, at least with our particular mayor, that he is convinced. The marketers of the data center builders have convinced him that, hey, this is not going to use more power than, like, say, 3 restaurants or a suburban block. You know what I mean? Like they've got it down. They say, oh, we'll bring our own power, right? Like Leary's that we're just talking about here. Are you kidding me, dude? You really think you're going to run that on natural gas? Are you telling me there's not a failover that's connected to the grid when you hit a certain, red line of power usage? And then it's like, look at here. Look at this. If this picture is real, and this is a real thermo camera picture of these places, that's a lot of heat coming out of there. This post is by Destiny Resendez on X. A Utah physics professor just compared the proposed Utah Stratos AI data center to 23 nuclear bombs a day.
What?
And the math actually checks out. So
oh my gosh.
I mean, that sounds crazy, but then you see, some of these thermo pictures of these things, and you hear the constant hum. People all over the place are like, hey, they just built one across the street. Listen to what it sounds like at 2 a.m. out here. And it's like the sky's all bright and there's this insane humming noise. Like, how do you rectify that? How do you rectify the fact that you've got billionaire construction companies coming to city councils and saying, hey, would you like to increase your town's, IT presence? Do you want to bring 2,000 jobs to town? Do you want to, for about the same energy usage as, 3 new restaurants? It's a perfect deal, guys. I mean, they're really putting everybody in a place. It almost feels to me like it's like a timeshare cell or something like that, where you're just getting bombarded with all the great stuff you're going to get, and they never tell you about all the, fine print.
So there, Mr. Moto's asking you, Hesher, what does this guy have against dating centers? What's
Data away, my friend.
What's the big deal? Well, those data centers are going to be running all those data sites, or dating sites.
Right.
Dating sites. Dating sites aren't doing very well at the moment.
There's something very sinister about it. That's the thing. It's it's part of the sort of building the infrastructure of oligarchy, isn't it? It's what it feels like.
Yes.
Alex Karp gives unhinged catamite with prion disease energy. So, okay. Black box with huge energy demands. they can set up anything. That's
the
true.
thing. That's the thing. It's just like Starlink or any of these other technologies that here's $500 billion, CEOs, go do some stuff with it and tell the stupid plebs, you know, pet my head like I'm a dog and tell me, oh, it's just so you can have better communication. And, oh, it's just so you can make better LOL cat videos. And, oh, you know, it helps you, you know, summarize the book you didn't want to read. Like, get out of here with that. We already have all that with the current level. And it's just like, all this infrastructure from 5G to Starlink to the data center explosion, the nanotech, the pandemic industrial complex, all this stuff that we're seeing, it's not all, you know what I mean? It's all linked. It's exactly what the commenter just said.
It's for the aliens. There you go. Photon figured it out. That's it. I'm being tongue-in-cheeky here, but what if whatever it's really for, then they say, okay, listen, here's the reason we had to be so secretive about this is we knew they were coming and we had to prepare. It could play into, but again, I don't think that's, whatever they tell us it's for, it's not what it's really for. It's very scary.
I'll tell you what, the chat's fired up on this issue, guys. I mean, everyone's fired up on this issue because it's come out of nowhere, and it's just like the scale of it. And wasn't it like, how many years ago was it, oh, we got to reduce the carbon footprint, got to use less energy, got to save water. Remember all that? That was like the whole guiding principle of the world, and everything needed to like conform to that. And then suddenly this is like a complete reverse, complete 180.
They were going to lock us down over it. You know what I mean? During COVID, we saw all the same signs. It's like, wow, they would like to do this over climate stuff. And now it's just like, I'm even seeing mainstream outlets now saying the climate discussion is dead. Like, it seems to me even the mass media cartel is trying to tone down the whole, like, oh, don't be so green, guys. We really need to make these 5,000 data centers.
Yeah, I mean, we had a huge heat wave here in the UK a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't accompanied by the usual hysteria, put it that way. Yes, of course, they still paint the hottest parts of the map a sort of deep purple, and we don't get sort of smiley sunshine on the weather forecasting anymore. That's all done rather alarmist. But in terms of what the chattering classes and the narrative around it from the media it was much toned down, I must admit. And obviously these data centers should be a #1 target for climate protesters. I mean, they must, as well as using up God knows how much fossil fuels, I've no doubt they emit an enormous amount of heat as well. They're like giant radiators, aren't they?
Yep. Pyramid scheme by reptilian archons. That's your sort of area there, Basil.
You better believe it, pal. You know what I mean?
Reptilian archons. Here we go. It feels like a Ponzi scheme. Well, it's because it is. Carbon dating. Are you talking about dating as in dating, or dating as in dating? Okay. This is Sauron's Land of Mordor is originally a 40,000 acre data center.
Very good.
Kevin O'Leary is Sauron, right? Saruman. That's right. Saruman.
Yeah. It's definitely making America great, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, make Canada great again. Kevin O'Leary.
How did we go from the cows are farting too much, you can't eat cows, to
that's right,
we need a data center with an old reactivated nuclear power
bolted on the side? Yes.
Cake Wallet was malware, so they could mine XMR on your dime. Yep. That's it. Trojan horse. HAL 9000. Transnational elites are organizing to pillage and plunder what's left of the collapsing U.S. empire. Mostly correct. Mostly correct. Something along those lines. It just doesn't really, the whole thing doesn't add up. Why would you front load infrastructure? We're not talking about vaporware, or .com boom stuff where it's like, oh, this software might work and it might be monetizable like Amazon after losing money for 15 years. We're talking about infrastructure here that's hard, that might be redundant after a couple of years, and you're stuck with, what are you going to do? And it's full of toxic material, the cadmium, imagine the material involved in something like this. You can't just like dismantle it. I mean,
No.
and it's going to bankrupt. It's sucking all the capital out. It's sucking all the water out. It's taking land. It's probably doing untold environmental damage. And it's driving energy prices up to the point where people can't afford to heat their homes or do normal stuff.
And in Box Elder County, where O'Leary's massive Stratos data center is being put up, that was a unanimous approval. Do you know how many people equals unanimous on their city council?
8.
3.
3.
Right.
Okay.
3 people voted to fast track that project last month. 3 people, despite protests from hundreds of locals. And it's the size of Manhattan. Okay, so they're just dropping a very hot Manhattan there. And Utah, I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but Utah's already suffered this once, a couple decades ago. 3 decades ago, I'm not sure, when they had the first NSA data center put there, which used to be the largest data center in the country, and now no one even talks about it. Maybe we could walk past it, guys, and be like, hey, look at this old data center. We should put some barbed wire up around it and take it. Maybe we can buy it.
I've seen a lot of memes this week telling Americans to be more like Albania, take to the streets in your hundreds of thousands to protest against your corrupt government. But it seems that the bread and circuses are still very effective on your side of the pond, gentlemen. Everybody's still very docile or apathetic or just too browbeaten, too tired. There's none of the same fervor that we saw there against the ruling class in Albania.
We don't have time for that in America. You've got Major League Baseball going right now. The NBA playoffs or championships are going on. The World Cup's about to start. And there's going to be a big-ass UFC fight on the White House lawn, Basil. Who has time to protest?
Well, especially when you're working 3 jobs.
Bread and circuses are aplenty in America. But isn't that the telltale sign of the collapse?
Did you see the fighter that was barred from the White House because he criticized
Sean
Israel?
Strickland, yeah. The only world champion, the only American world champion, and he's not allowed along.
He got the call.
He apologized. He had to apologize. Did you notice that? Today I saw an apology statement.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah.
I think he needs to go to visit the wall.
I think he's probably got his ticket booked already.
I think he needs to go with.
Do you want me to send you that clip, Patrick, that we played on Friday?
Which clips is that?
The one of Trump as the ring walker at the UFC.
Have you? I mean, you could do. Yeah. I mean, I suppose. I don't know if we should. It's so bad. If we showed that, it might traumatize people because you can't unsee that image of Trump in a Israeli bikini.
That's right. Did you not see it, gentlemen?
It's pretty.
Oh, I saw it. I'm still recovering. Thank you.
It's pretty awful.
Burned into my eyeball.
Yeah.
It's probably the best physical depiction of Trump, though, that in terms of physique that he'll ever have. I know he's got some.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well. So anyway, look. I don't know. Look, last thing I'm going to say about, and then we'll knock this on the head with the data centers. And this is Jin Moulton here. When they're all done building the data centers, the technology in the data center is probably going to be outdated. Yeah,
a very good point.
100%.
Very good point.
100%.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, guys: is your life, is your day-to-day life so bad that you need to have AI take over everything, and
yes.
improve the speed of your transaction an extra 10 seconds or what? I don't see all this has to happen for what? Convenience? Speed? Like what? More, I guess, if we're not working, we're not useful, we're just consuming, then it's like you're handing them this sort of Soylent Green solution there. Like that's what elites just tend to gravitate in that direction, basically, don't they? Mute Hesher's on mute. Yes,
we're going to see similarities between this and the .com bubble burst. You know, there's, you know, when we're being shoved into a new paradigm without, you know, any public conversation about what it means and how it changes us and the world, you know, we get a lot of predictive programming, we get a lot of nudging, and we get a lot of marketing. Like I was saying, we get told all the great things it's going to do. And look at all the promises and marketing that was broken and BS in the .com boom. You know, I graduated with my bachelor's in computer science in year 2001, or no, year 2000, right when the .com bust happened. It was like everyone I was in school with, we were being told, you're all going to, you know, a fresh company in the Bay Area. You're all going to be, you know, IPO holders. Everybody's going to be rich. It's going to be awesome. And then I graduate. Half the people I graduated with go to work at McDonald's. All right. Because the .com had literally just busted. You know, it was similar to 2008. So I think something similar is going to happen with AI. They're going to tell us all the great things it's going to do. And many of us are experiencing a lot of the great things it can do. But those of us on the early edge of this thing also know that we don't need these data centers. We don't need 5,000 data centers to have these skills. And that something else is being cobbled together here. And one day, probably one day pretty soon, it's going to all come into clarity, you know, where these infrastructures all connect and what their capabilities actually are. And we're going to discover that it's not about helping us necessarily. There are going to be a lot of features baked in that are going to make a lot of changes for society. And there will be a big financial shift. And, you know, we've got someone in the Discord chat asking, well, what's the lifespan of a NVIDIA GPU? You know, like these things can't even get them now. They're unobtainium. You know, if you want the highest end NVIDIA GPU right now, you know how much it costs? $15,000. It was like $8,000 a couple months ago. Now it's $15,000. And what you can do with that thing basically means you don't need a data center. So why are the chips so expensive? They want you to need a data center.
That's really messed up. If that's how that market is behaving, that's messed up. That's really, that's worse than the .com boom. Way worse.
It's like a Blade Runner rug pull, right? It's like, we're going to give you a utopic society. Nope. Sorry. Rug is pulled. Your girlfriend's a robot. Your IRS agent is an AI agent, and it's just taking your credits from you. You know what I mean? It's just you're gonna be put in digital gulag. They're talking about even coming up with technologies to process criminals quicker, where they can put them in like a VR unit and slow time down for them, so they feel like and then write a narrative for them, right? A whole prison narrative for them. Yeah, like Logan's Run, exactly, Chanel. That's the kind of stuff they're cooking up in the background. All right. How can we imprison you for mean think and make you feel like you've been in jail for 10 years, you know, doing hard time and having the worst experiences prison can offer? Oh, we can just, you know, get you in and out in 15 minutes, but you're going to basically be MK Ultra'd and tortured for what feels like 10 years, you know, behind your eyeballs.
Blade Runner.
Something else to look forward to.
Yeah, I saw the robots are scary, man. It's
oh man,
that's all. Yeah, we're really gonna be tested as a species.
We have robot centers too. You know, it's like we're building all these data centers, and we're all focusing on that. Up in Ohio, they're building you know, war robots as quickly as they can build cars on an assembly line.
War robots, did you say?
Yes, sir.
RoboCop type things.
Yeah,
that's going to be the future. That's going to be weird. Warfare is going to be automated robotic military against automated robotic military, and it's going to be like a video game, basically.
Right.
Like, but what happens when they breach the line and then those robots are steaming into your town, like 10,000 of them with AI targeting? And I mean, it's just, I can't even imagine. But that's the world Elon it gets off on thinking about. And Palmer Luckey, that nutcase with the Hawaiian shirts and the mullet cut, and Peter Thiel. And this is their world. This is their future, as they want this dystopic hell. I think that's what they want. These are fundamentally anti-human people, that because they're not speaking out against it, so they must want it, right? I don't know. That's their world. They just, or they think they're just going to make money and bank it all the way to the end. Like, you're going to be the richest guy ever. You're going to be a multi-trillionaire, but there's going to be no more human race. But you're happy with that? You're going to be down with that, right? Well, yeah, as long as us and Mark and Zuckerberg and everyone, there's only like 100 of us with bunkers, and we're going to basically repopulate the world with copies of ourselves. Okay, fine. It's getting into that James Bond. We're getting into that Bond villain type. We're not far, are we?
Yeah, I mean, what was it? The worst, arguably the worst Bond film ever made, A View to a Kill, with Christopher Walken as Zorin and Grace Jones as the.
It was a Roger Moore one.
That was a Roger Moore one, yeah.
It's the last Roger Moore film he made, and it was all about Silicon Valley. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
He was bioengineering racehorses to begin with. That was the way in to the whole story. Pretty dreadful film, actually. But yeah, I mean, the Zorin character played by Walken was very much a forerunner of the tech bros of today, no doubt about it.
Have you guys noticed Bezos is quickly looking like very old? He looks. I was a bit shocked.
Yeah, he looks a bit like the Donald Pleasance incarnation of Blofeld in You Only Live Twice.
Yeah, because he looked like he was sort of spry and young with the shaved head and the black leather and the hot Latino side piece. And did he just, because he scored such a hot baby, just let himself go, or like what? Or he's just done. He's finished. He's not going to make an effort anymore. He aged like 20 years in like a year or something.
Must have been weird. That trip to space.
Yes.
Got too close to the radiation belt.
Yes. Yeah. A little time travel. That could be it. Yeah, could be. But William Shatner went up there and he looks pretty good for 100.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, William Shatner is amazing.
Still working.
That guy's a G. He's always been a G. But when has he not been a G? When William Shatner's amazing. He's always been a G.
I want to mention one other thing before we go, which is a serious matter. The UK Foreign Office and a group of Western countries are due to announce a package of sanctions against Israel this week designed to deter companies from becoming involved in a proposed West Bank settlement that would split the territory in two and render the concept of a two-state solution near impossible. 9 countries, including France, the UK, and Australia, have warned that settlement violence must stop and no company should be involved in what is known as the E1 development. Tenders were opened this month for the development of more than 3,000 homes between Jerusalem and the Ma'ale Adumim. The development would split the West Bank between north and south, and so in effect make a contiguous Palestinian West Bank impossible. Beelzebub Smotrich described it as Zionism at its best, building, settling, and strengthening our sovereignty in the land of Israel, adding that the E1 settlement will bury the idea of a Palestinian state. So I've been saying on this program for 10 years that there would come a time where the gradual gobbling up of the West Bank would, be so obvious, so in your face, so complete that those parroting the two-state solution were going to find that they were, hiding behind an ever smaller fig leaf. And it seems that time has finally come. Though, of course, the Israelis won't pay any attention to these sanctions, none at all. They will go ahead. They will attack the signatories as anti-Semites, and we won't see any meaningful change at all. That's it. But nevertheless, it's come to this before there's any meaningful activity on the diplomatic front.
Shat is a legend. Yep, he is. William Shatner's getting big ups. William Shatner. Shatner is a Fabian. That's coming in hard with that sort of conspiracy epithet.
He's also Jewish.
Is he?
I didn't. Yeah.
Is he?
I didn't. Yeah, he is. Which I didn't.
Is he? Is he?
He is actually. Yes. Which I didn't discover myself until a few months ago.
Well,
He's also
I'll
doing
be
heavy metal music now. Isn't that correct, Hesher?
What's that?
I did hear a rumor.
He's exploring as part of his next evolution in his career. He's doing heavy metal music.
Him and Christopher Lee, of course, who was
taking the cue from Christopher Lee, who's been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And Javier Milei is doing a little bit of heavy metal.
I think Javier Milei's version of heavy metal is probably that band Jackal. Do you remember the heavy rock band from the late 80s, early 90s? They used to have a chainsaw. They'd come out and they'd do a chainsaw solo.
Oh, chainsaw solo. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that sounds like Guar.
That would be a much better chainsaw because they would be decapitating a sitting president with it, which I've seen them do for every president except the current one.
Yes. What was that film with the president? The bank robbers were the dead presidents, right? It was.
The classic
Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
Yeah, that was always a classic. Yeah,
yep.
It's always a good one.
That's a favorite cultural reference point in Boiler Room for sure.
Yep. Well, yes, William Shatner is indeed Jewish. That's right, Rupert. And I would say I'd get he's up for the award for the coolest Jew of all time. What do you think? One of them, right? I guess. If you believe that Jesus was a Jew, some say that he was. Some say that there wasn't such a term back when Jesus existed, Basil. That it was they were called people, or they were just people who spoke Hebrew or something, Hebrewites or something like that. I can't remember. They didn't have the term. The term Jewish did not appear until the 1700s.
Until much later, yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So technically, Netanyahu said Jesus was Jewish, but like many people refute that. Technically not true. But, Bibi has a way of words with and stylizing history. That's what he does. All right, guys, that's it. I think we've Spock was Jewish. See,
he was Leonard Nimoy was as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought he was Native American.
No.
Are you sure about that?
You're 100%.
Can someone fact check that for me, please?
Yeah, I knew Leonard Nimoy was Jewish years before I knew William Shatner was Jewish.
I didn't know he was. I thought he was just like an odd-looking Eastern European type bloke.
No, I know. We all thought so. We had us all fooled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that just changes the whole crew of the Enterprise, right there.
It shouldn't. Your whole Star Trek is
literally 1 and 2.
He was born in 1931 in the Irish section of the West End of Boston, Massachusetts, to Jewish immigrants from Ukraine.
That's Nimoy.
And Ukrainian to boot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What about Chekhov?
Good question.
Yeah.
Next thing you're going to tell me is Scotty wasn't Scottish.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, what about Chekhov? Because I'm just looking at in Bones. So really, it's just it's Uhura and Sulu were potentially the only Gentiles on the command bridge all that time. Can you imagine?
Shatner's had a long-running dispute with the
Takai.
That's right. Yeah.
Is this true? Keanu Reeves was Canadian.
Maybe that's why he's not president.
Lebanese.
So it looks like
which Bezos is Lebanese, apparently, isn't he?
No, that's Steve Jobs.
Right. Well,
is Bezos Lebanese?
I think he might be. Yeah. Let's have a quick look.
Well, that's another one. Okay. Yeah. Let me see here. George Takei. There's a lot of controversies with George Takei. I don't really want to even go there.
Oh man, Walter Koenig, the guy that played Chekhov. I was trying to figure this out. I was like, okay, so is he Russian? What's the deal? Koenig was born in Chicago, Illinois, the son of businessman Isidore Koenig and his wife Sarah. They moved to Inwood neighborhood of Manhattan when Walter was a child. Koenig's parents were Russian Jewish immigrants from the Soviet Union. So
Okay.
Chekhov.
Okay. So this changes the whole picture of the enterprise, doesn't it?
Stardate 30,000 years ago.
There's a whole conspiracy there at what was it? The year 2500? Is that what it was?
Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Yeah. Yes. To go where no man has gone before.
Well, that might be Takei's.
Very Zionist. All you can say, isn't it? What Zionist slogan, you know.
Except no man and some Gentiles have not gone before.
There were people there before, you know.
Oh, here we go. Star Trek is global homo space opera par excellence. What are you talking about? It was completely hetero.
They had to can that latest series, Star Trek Academy, didn't they?
Yeah.
The
3,000 years ago, space was promised to William Shatner.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. In search of a land without a people, somewhere out there.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, you guys are on a roll today. I'll tell you, the comments are fired up. Look at we've just tapped a gold mine here, folks. Oh my God, Gene Roddenberry was gay. Is that true? And a pedo. Oh, come, please, guys. Really?
He was allegedly a high-level Freemason, though.
T.J. Hooker. That was William Shatner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was his main gig after Star Trek.
I forgot about that. That was a show. Yeah, T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, 80s. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. This is a fun. You get a kick out of this comment, Basil Starline says, "Whoa, Chekhov looks super Gentile." I'm thinking of the J.J. Abrams movie Chekhov. Oh, that's such a great observation there. Thank you, Starline. You see, we've really woken up the chat here with this. This is very, very deep, rich stuff here. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Arthur C. Clarke. Oh, please don't go there. No, we're going to leave that one. That's 2001: Space Odyssey, isn't it? Arthur C. Clarke. Yeah. Star Trek, where even the please, you guys, we don't get into aliens. Yeah, it's you guys amuse yourselves. Go ahead, comment section. Amuse yourself. Knock yourself out. They did. Oh, the Spock. You guys are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Heather Locklear. What does she have to do with it? Oh, T.J. Hooker, right?
Yeah.
She was in T.J. Hooker. Yeah. Ask Basil. Last thing. Ask Basil if he's heard of any fascinating Loch Ness tales of
Plesiosaurus.
Yeah.
Well done, Hesher.
No, I haven't. I'm not quite sure what Craig is driving at there, to be honest. The Loch Ness monster, long since debunked, really.
I think Craig's in America. He hears your accent and he just assumes that you've got complete dominion over the British Isles.
Right. Yeah.
Including Scotland.
No, unfortunately, I think it's, you see the odd thing about it, but no, there's no Loch Ness monster. But Bigfoot is more popular than ever, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's new Bigfoot documentaries every day of the week on YouTube.
Yeah.
And all sorts of new theories. Bigfoot travels by underground tunnels and lives in inner earth. Bigfoot is multidimensional and can turn into an orb. you name it. So
Yeah.
I'm down with all the Bigfoot.
The last intriguing Loch Ness thing I saw was probably 2004, 2003, somewhere in the early 2000s. I saw back when videos online were like 240 by 680 or something. You know, if it was, you know, we didn't really have social media at the time, so people would upload these videos, and I saw it was like a blog post, and this guy had a really interesting thesis and some interesting pictures to go with it. So what he showed, and his story was that he found a deer carcass, like on the shore, right, like on some rocks, slightly in the water, and there was a enormous tooth lodged in the carcass, and he's trying to figure out what this tooth is. And the guy spent a lot of time trying to figure this out. And the like the nature preserve authorities confiscated it, you know, and his whole thing was, what, you know, to make a long story short, his assumption from the evidence that he was able to pull from examining the tooth and from looking at stuff on the shore was that it was potentially a large eel. He thought it was an eel tooth, and someone actually spotted a large slithering thing going into the loch that had left like a snake style pattern, but enormous. So that was the very last time I was like, kind of like,
I hadn't
intrigued.
heard that, and that does sound genuinely intriguing and reasonably coherent.
Yeah, and of course the tourism board, or, you know, the nature preserve, whatever they have over there at the loch, is they don't want it to be solved ever, right? Because it's a tourism draw. So if it was as banal as, you know, a giant eel, that just destroys the whole thing. So to me, it was kind of the first time back in the early 2000s where I was like, I had kind of given up on it. It's like, okay, it's going to be a mystery forever. But then I saw something with a little bit of evidence and some research behind it, and I was like, okay, that's plausible and interesting, but we're never going to find out.
Do eels of that size exist elsewhere?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like we've solved it there. Thanks very much indeed.
Hey, no problem.
I'll look into
that.
Chanel's adamant that Bigfoot was not Jewish. She's very adamant about that.
I agree. I come from Bigfoot country. I was born in Bigfoot country. I would have to agree with that statement, because I've hung out in the woods where he lives and done lots of psychedelics.
So
but wasn't the Pacific Northwest promised to Bigfoot 3,000 years ago?
No, he just showed up and took it.
That's it. He just, because if he didn't take it, somebody else would. Right?
He's like, I'm going to walk through here barefoot. This is mine.
Someone said, Bigfoot, what are you doing? You can't have. He said, look, somebody does. If I don't take it, somebody else will.
While we're on cryptids, you've got Dogman in Texas, haven't you?
Dogman.
Yeah, I've heard of the Dogman before. Yep.
He's supposed to be in Texas.
What about the chupacabra?
Are called chupacabra.
The chupacabra. It means in Spanish. It means sheep sucker, blood sheep sucker, or something like that.
Goat sucker.
Goat sucker. It sucks the blood out of the livestock. Chupacabra. Alex was into the chupacabras for a while, wasn't he, Alex Jones?
Oh yeah, he was, and he would bring it up when he would talk about like, like sci-fi, like human chimera experiments and stuff like that.
I think you mean Yentl, not Yeti. Yentl, not Yeti.
Yeah.
It's a slight difference in the spelling.
Jones has flipped on Trump, hasn't he? He wants to see him impeached, I think, calling him treasonous for this NDAA bill merging.
Oh, he flipped on him a while ago.
The military and Pentagon, you know.
Are you talking about Alex Jones flipping on Trump?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
Alex flipped on him when Trump attacked Alex and called him low. Who?
But fully flipped on. I mean, now call him to be impeached for treason. You know, not just like I've gone off him, but you know, this guy's
cringy. Who was the guest that he had on Hesher? Remind me.
Oh, the
accidents in the chat. But they did this rant where they said the J word over and over again. It was really cringy, and it was just insane. I don't know if you saw that, Basil.
No, I didn't know.
Was it?
Oh yeah, they were doing like the Arsenio Hall chant, who, except they were saying JEW over and over again. It was crazy.
Right.
It was cringy to watch. It was wild.
Was that recent?
Yeah.
Was it Kanye? No.
No, it was Alex Jones and his guest, and I forgot the guest's name.
The Spanish Fed guy. What's his name?
I think that's
Fuentes.
him.
Fuentes.
No, it wasn't him.
No.
It's some weird handle like "thank you, happy hell." I don't know what it is. I can't remember. It's kind of asinine.
I am Warren West says I can't watch Ben Shapiro. I'm afraid of caterpillars. Legit. It's a legit excuse. Alex Jones used to be cool before he helped facilitate Charlie Sheen getting paused and blackmailed by a black trans sex worker. Did Alex actually do that?
I do not have all the deets on that. I would like to see the write-up or a video on it, though. It does sound familiar, but I don't remember the story.
Sounds like something Charlie Sheen would be involved in, for sure.
Yeah, Tiger Blood.
I don't know about Alex, though, but anyway. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is, you guys, it's just, there's so many crazy things. I mean, I just have to put that up as well. Now we're on the subject. I saw Handsome Truth, known agent provocateur affiliate of Laura Loomer on
That's
the
the one.
Is that the one?
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay. There's just so much weirdness right now with the cast of characters that are prominent, that there's been weird ones before, but they're just wrong now. There's so many wrong ones. Wrongins. Yeah. They called them in England, they're called wrongins. Wrongins. Yeah, here we go. Here's some, we got some, this is Dino there. I don't know if we can get that on screen or not. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Keep up the great work. 21st Century. Dino Pantoluca 6868. Thank you very much. That's an awesome sticker.
Thank you.
Coming from America in U.S. currency. Thank you very much. If I missed anybody, super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Final words, Hesher, before we round it out.
Let's see here. Please visit Alternate Current Radio and check out the latest episode of Boiler Room. We did one on Friday night. It's called The Machine Has No Conscience. So head on over to alternatecurrentradio.com. Check it out. We've got the audio version below the video version there. We've got a overview. If you want to just take a peek and see what's going to be discussed, you can find that. All our source links up there. So we've been adding some goodies to the website, and hope everybody enjoys that, uses it, checks it out. Also, we noted on this week's Boiler Room that this week is the anniversary of Marvin Heemeyer's rampage in Colorado, known as the Killdozer. I'm told we're not supposed to glorify him, and that's conspiracy person talk to glorify him. So I'm more pointing it out as sort of a sad story of what can happen when your town and your city council destroy your livelihood and destroy your business. You could end up, seeing things like this happen again. This guy built a tank basically out of a tractor, and he went after those that destroyed his life, and unfortunately he's no longer with us, and there was not a better way to resolve that. He was a U.S. veteran, which is rarely mentioned. So there's a documentary about him that I could recommend to folks. I believe it's called Tread. So you might want to check that out if you're not familiar with that story. And also this week is, I think tomorrow actually is the anniversary of the USS Liberty being attacked by Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of fits in with the Israeli penetration that you were talking about earlier in the program there, Patrick.
Yep.
So wanted to note those, and thank you for having me, and great show today. Looking forward to next week, and thanks for letting us run the show while you're out and about, and sending in the videos and everything that you did to stay connected to the show. It was awesome.
Yeah, thanks, and great feedback as well from those programs last week and the week before. Thank you guys for the shout outs here. More shouts coming in the chat. Ruckus, your final thoughts before we send the Enterprise into orbit.
That's right. So I don't do any shoddy reporting. I will give everyone the official news about the Scott Pelley thing, who was the veteran 60 Minutes correspondent. He was fired by CBS News this week on Tuesday. It was after a contentious staff meeting on Monday. Here's why he was fired, everybody. You just decide for yourself. Was this fair? He clashed with his new executive producer, Nick Bolton, and the now infamous editor-in-chief, one Barry Weiss, during this meeting that took place on Monday, allegedly. Pelley accused Bolton of having, quote-unquote, slender qualifications, and he stated that Weiss was, quote-unquote, murdering the show. These remarks were considered by Bolton and cited as being, quote, remarkable incivility and contempt, end quote, in the termination notice that they promptly, swiftly sent Scott Pelley the next day. So I look at this as yet another bizarre, in this case, nail in the coffin of the traditional gate-kept mainstream media, which just opens the door for all the other nonsense that we've been seeing with you are the media and all the stuff we see on X. I just want to point out something to everybody real quick. We mentioned all these billionaires today. I don't know how many of you are watching live right now, but I know how many of you altogether, within 24 hours after the show is done, you look at all the platforms, there's going to be like tens of thousands of views on these videos, at least, just bare minimum, if like everybody slept in. Okay, I bring that up because no matter what, at the end of the day, it's going to be there are way more than 3,428 of you hearing my voice. Why do I mention that number? Well, according to Forbes, as of 2026, they did a report just in March or May. Yeah, March. There are that many billionaires in the world. That's it. 3,428 billionaires. That might sound like a lot, but we have a population of 8.3 billion people. So that means these scumbags, the billionaires, represent, let's see if I get this right, 0.00041% of the population. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, but let that sink in. And thanks again for having me, Patrick. I love being here. Thanks.
Thank you. We can send them all into space. Warp Factor 5. Scotty, Warp Factor 5. Thank you, Ruckus. You can fit them all into a high school gymnasium. How about that? That make you feels good. Yeah, 3,428 to be exact. Thank you very much for getting that number correct. Good points, Ruckus. Well, those are just the declared billionaires. There's probably about 100,000 of other ones in India that are not on the list.
I think that we don't know who the richest people in the world are. They're not in the public eye.
That's right.
Simple as that. Who owns the Federal Reserve? Who is that 35 trillion owed to? You know,
it could be some bloke in Kansas City, driving an old Ford pickup truck.
I doubt that. But
you never know.
The powers behind the stage or behind the scenes do not have public profiles. So in addition to standing up against the Iran war, I found myself watching Matt Walsh this week, and he was quoting Ted Kaczynski.
Really? The Unabomber.
Industrial Society and its Future. The manifesto states that the public largely accepts individual technological advancements as purely positive without accounting for their overall effect, including the erosion of local and individual freedom and autonomy. That was 1995. And the reason Matt Walsh was talking about it was because, of course, he foresaw the advent of AI, which we were talking about earlier. So I might invest in a copy of Kaczynski's manifesto. I hope that doesn't get me arrested. It's widely available for sale on the internet, the Industrial Society and its Future. Apart from that, you'll see me on Friday at 1 p.m. on UK time on UK Column News.
Also, The World Today, right? I saw you on there recently.
Yeah, I go on there. That's the World Today. That's right, with dear old Mike Ryan. Today, The World Today, Today's News Talk, to give it its full title.
TWT.
Yeah.
TWT.
Yeah. And
I thought I saw some AI artwork on there that looked like Ruckus did it. Is this true? Is that the rumor?
Is Andrew referring to Kaczynski's manifesto as a
Wacky.
masterpiece?
What was that?
Is Andrew there referring to the Unabomber's manifesto as a masterpiece?
Many people are kind of alluding to that. It's been recognized as a work of literature, yes, even though the author might be what was his a terrorist, domestic terrorist? I thought he was a government asset, though. How does that work?
Well, he did 30 years in ADX Florence Supermax, so whoever he was working for, it all went pear-shaped, because that place is worse than being dead, if you ask me.
Pear-shaped is yes. On that topic, just before we go, guys, Sean Helton at the Real Anthem Band said, and I retweeted this, show me one high-profile event crisis thrust into the public spotlight for maximum emotional impact that didn't involve co-conspirators. This is the imprint of mass tragedy. Poetic. So true. Or it was just a lone gunman. It was just a lone nut job, right? Wasn't working with anybody. Ted Kaczynski just got like a cult following, I think. I'm getting that vibe. There's a lot of fans in the chat.
Maybe we should make some T-shirts.
A lot of pro Kaczynski people in the chat. I can see. Any
Quick
horse
way
tips?
of getting arrested.
People need to make money, Basil. People got to feed the families. Any horse tips from Basil this week?
Now, I might do next week when we're a little bit closer to Royal Ascot.
Okay. Fair
Need
enough.
to see the final fields.
Ted Kaczynski just needed a good spa day.
Oh, Basil, is there some good sport betting going around the World Cup? Anything like that?
Yeah, I saw this guy's predicted the last couple of winners, 3 winners or something. I'm not sure if he's an actuary or an accountant or what he does, because I don't follow international football particularly closely, and least of all the England team, because it's always so spectacularly badly managed. Anyway, he's put up the Netherlands, who I think have as good a chance as anyone, and the dark horse, the outsiders, a lot of money for them, and I might have a pound or two on myself. Japan.
That would be an
very
outsider.
good players. A lot of their players play in the Premier League and what have you, including one for Leeds United, Altanaka. So, yeah, Japan at a big price. Thank you.
Boba's asking, Basil, can one lay a bet on England to lose?
You can on Betfair, yeah.
Can you make money on betting for England losing?
Yeah, you can lay bets on Betfair. So somebody else bets on England to win, you can take their money. Okay. Whether that's the tournament, but you have to put the money in your account. You have to load up your account.
You have to stake it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think England are much too short in the betting.
A lot of people are rooting for Iran. Will they even be allowed into the U.S. to play? That's the question.
14 of their officials were refused visas.
Is the team going to be allowed to play?
Yeah, I think so. But they've just issued the minimum number of visas, just like the manager and the coach.
And they have to leave the country after the match. They can't stay 24 hours. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's right. They're basing themselves in Mexico.
Is that insane?
Well, of course it is, you know.
It's going to be like, do you ever see Victory with Sylvester Stallone and Pele? You remember that film where they were the prison?
Yeah, I know of it. Yeah,
Nazi prison camp, and the Allied prisoners played a match against the Nazi All-Stars and won.
Athena or something. These films are unwatchable. These 70s extravaganzas. Do you know what I mean?
Pele was in it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. There's one with Bobby Moore in it. It's Escape to Athena, I think, but they're garbage films.
I liked it.
Okay, I have to eat something. I'm sorry. I need to run now.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Awesome. Great to see everybody. And the chat are really fired up. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it's been a great program. Take care. Goodbye, and have a great week, Hesher, Ruckus, Basil Valentine, and everybody in the audience. Really appreciate you guys hanging. Yeah, the Boiler Room had an interesting segment on AI. Many interesting segments on AI on the Boiler Room. You want to tune into that program for that type of conversation. Alternate Current Radio is replete with that type of content. Anyway, this is all the time we have for you this week. I'm Patrick Henningsen, your host. And big thank you to Olsi Yajezi, and we will be releasing the full conversation of that interview. If you missed any of that, you can catch that compelling clip during the first segment before Overdrive. And yeah, this story goes way deeper than anybody could possibly imagine. Certainly, I wasn't thinking that much before we had that discussion, but that's why we do what we do. Folks, thank you for your listenership, for your viewership, but also for your support as well. Because of your support, we're able to do some incredible things, and we're still on the cutting edge of journalism, where not all media outlets are doing investigations and covering the stuff intensely the way we are, but we like to think that that's necessary. In the independent media, we're going to be holding that standard up no matter what, and it's because of your support we're able to do that. Go to 21st Century Wire. There's a link in the show description. Donate, or better yet, subscribe and become a member at 21wire.tv. That's how you can support this program, our website, our writers, our team, and I think everyone's doing a really brilliant job. And so yeah, we need to up our game, and we got a lot of things that we need to accomplish, and we're only going to do that with your help and your support. So every little bit helps. $5 a month, and you can do that on a rolling basis. It makes a huge difference for us, and we'll continue to grow, continue to improve our output, and increase our reach, because that's what it's all about. But thank you very much. This has been a great edition of the Sunday Wire, episode 598 of this weekly Omnibus News and Analysis Radio and TV program, brought to you here at 21stcenturywire.com, also at the alternatecurrentradio.com. And yeah, we'll see you when we see you very soon, hopefully. Take care. All the best.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the profound honor of addressing this great citadel of democracy for the fourth time.
And thanks for bombs that black guys up one more time. For helping me pin it on Iran, that's the crime. Let me spin you a tale, talk you in its bedtime.
Our world is in upheaval.
We brand our foes as evil, it's our goal to spell. Labels ready-made, we wield them well. Terrorists, anti-Semites, animals all on sale. Every option laid out, no detail is too frail. Let me share my plan, it's all about me. Survival's the goal, friends, just let me be. Uncle Sam sends dollars, bombs, arms, endlessly. Through twisted lenses, he pretends to see clearly. I could quote the Bible, but that's just for show. It's occupation versus civilization, as you know. Accusations, my confession, the truth's on a low. Decades of incarceration, yet you clap for the show.
We win, they lose.
I can't breathe anymore, this noose is too tight. Just not as I blame in the dead of the night. We're criminals in truth, but that's our plight. Gentlemen in the headlines, painted in white.
Suddenly, heaven turned into hell.
We raised the homes, gave the order to shell. Bomb schools, mosque, hotels, there's more to tell. Not just that, hospitals fell as well. Thank you, madams and sirs, for funding this hell.
I thank President Biden for his heartfelt support for Israel.
Think this ain't real, it's all colonial play. Joe helps me claim defense in the broad daylight. Good man he is, though his words sway, supporting me, even when his talk's not right. They killed with rage, Arab women, kids in their prime. Gaza's an open-air cage, living on borrowed time. More deaths on the way, they've sworn the crime. So we pin badges of courage in his bloody rhyme. What in God's green earth am I ranting about? I'll take you on a ride, no doubt. but can't lie about genocide, that's out. Humanity's priceless, funds are what it's about. They call it occupation, a regime of hate, a racist dream built on a bloodthirsty state, causing death, grief, and pain at every gate. Yet I stand here and you still wait, and what I'm doing, I stand up in disguise, playing the victim, that's my prize. But ouch, they're burning me in effigy skies.
And I want to say thank you, America.
I love you and your hamburgers, that's no bluff. My soldiers loved you as pampers, just enough. No more Octobers, but we had our stuff. And we were the symbol of heroic grace. Not apartheid or racist to any place. Butter wouldn't melt in my mouth, no trace. From north to south, where the embrace face.
They call Israel a colonialist state.
I think I'm kidding, grab the Times, take a read. Ask the White House, they're trying to lead, but they need more training to follow my creed.
That Iran is funding and promoting anti-Israel protests in America. They want to disrupt America.
Think of Iran, my arms go weak, my mouth goes sour. Let's find a new land to devour. Their might threatens our tower, hour by hour. Victory's near, but is it on my side? Defeating the enemies where I can find, but that's not in me. So prayers I need, and tax dollars, so my plans can proceed. We aim to make Gaza unlivable, our Nobel Prize. Then find a new place to colonize. Take the world back from the infidel guys. Make this region a 5-star paradise. Thank you, my lies have reached their demise.
Israel does not seek to resettle Gaza.
Have reached their demise. Thank you, my lies.
Stealing serpent calls, buildings burn, masking riot shots. It's TV terror, watch the will of God.